Welcome back to the OverRated Truth podcast. I'm your host, Lays.
I am Badru.
I'm your host, Bad Luck, and this is episode
5. Episode 5.
So what's up, my brother? How y'all doing, man?
Yeah, you heard that? I am Badru. See?
Now you want to, if we smoothly went past that, now you want to go back to how you
I
in the intro?
I just thought I did a good job.
I'm trying to think it's an attention-seeking thing now.
Oh, yeah, attention whore.
If I did it wrong, y'all would have said something. I did it right. All right.
You want your credit?
Where credit is... I want the bad, good, or credit, good or bad. That's whatever. That was a Kendrick bar. I just fucked up.
Don't fuck up hip-hop.
Pretty much.
What's up, man? What y'all got going on?
Oh, man, chilling.
How was y'all weekend? How was y'all week? Weekends? Everything cool?
Everything was smooth, man. I watched Bad Throw You Under the Bus on YouTube. So, if you haven't seen our YouTube, youtube.com.
Oh, did you?
/ logo astronaut. Subscribe.
I threw him under the bus.
Hold on. You threw me under the bus too, motherfucker.
That's correct. You know what?
I throw you. What buses?
That's correct.
How many buses? What happened?
First of all, Lux.
It's completely. You read the description.
Yeah. Then nigga gonna say
you haven't read the description to the.
No.
All right. So yeah.
Oh, God.
Nigga gonna say I'm gonna attend Beyonce's church on behalf of all of us, and then he just tried to clean up your whole shit. So,
it's cool. I let the people judge. You going to the YouTube thing?
Oh, you want to? Yeah, I'll tell you.
What's up, man? How y'all doing, dog? How's everything? Everything cool?
Everything's straight, man. Everything's good. Man, how are you doing?
You see that?
That's not professional. What is that? What was that?
No, because you brought it up. I was going to read it.
First of all, we're
I
late.
wasn't reading it. It was out loud. Your phone's not even on silent.
Let me tell you what it says. No, you know what? If you want to see what it says, go to the YouTube video for last episode 4, and it's on there. Bad Luck versus the Beehive. It's on
And I'm glad y'all hashtagged that wrong, too.
What is it? What do you mean?
I did it on purpose.
Thank you.
I would go get you. I would go.
Oh, it's supposed to be BEE?
I don't know. But
no,
look,
it's not BEY.
How's your weekend? Everything was good?
Oh, okay. I'm researched that.
What's going on weekend? Anything interesting?
You know what? I took a little Instagram sabbatical. Like I just stayed off Instagram
for 2 days?
For the weekend.
Okay. How was that? Refreshing?
It was weak. I took time off from. That shit was weak. I was wondering what motherfuckers was doing. I was like, this shit is weak.
You was doing it just to see like what the cleansing you can do?
I'll never leave you again, IG.
Life was boring with IG.
It's overrated.
Yeah, like first of all,
some people are addicted to Instagram though. Sometimes people need a break from social media. Or are you one of the people that need to unplug?
I don't need breaks from my addictions. That's why they're addictions.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Oh, yeah,
wow.
yeah. I just got good at
Did that deal with all addictions? Or just
I don't have a crack one, so I think like that.
Uh-huh.
You can think like that, but you don't have a crack addiction.
Right.
When you don't got a
Right.
Somebody will like say that and they on meth.
Like your addiction is pretty cool. Like it's cool if you.
I'm online, man. I ain't gonna have no problems logging off if something happened. I can't get to work. He can't log off.
Hey,
How was your weekend, man?
It was
Ooh.
It was different. Not to tell you if I keep it 1,000 with y'all. It was a dynamic change. My grandfather passed away.
Oh no,
man.
At the end of last week, and that happened. And but that wasn't. It's G Pops and I love him to death, man. It's just a different kind of feeling I had about that for different reasons. I'll end up talking about it, later. But it was that happened, and it was a lot. Like it was a lot. But I didn't feel how I thought I should feel when I lost a grandparent.
Which was what?
Like kind of like it's a grandparent, and my grandfather was always there. My grandmother passed some years ago, and my grandfather was 91, 92, something like that. And it was just different, man. Our relationship was different, and not like a direct thing. But I was always just a kid where grandfather was the old school kind of. He's in the den, you go in the den, watch games with him, talk to him. Then once you leave the den, he's just in the den. Like he was always, that kind of grandparent relationship, whatever. So that's all I really knew. And it's a couple of things in the family, or some family shit that I didn't like, but that's family shit. I don't want to talk about him like it's bad. It was a bad thing. And just to be honest. I couldn't even lie and cover it up. It was like, oh no, man, it was cool. It wasn't all cool with me, and I had a conversation with my mom about that today actually, and it was real fucking deep about the conversation and why I felt away because I chose not to go to the funeral. But for those who don't know me, I rarely go to any funeral. Some of my closest people, I've never been in a funeral. Some funerals I walked out in the middle of them. Not disrespectfully, I just don't really handle funerals well. My grandfather, I chose not to go because I know I probably wouldn't handle it well. And, it just, I felt different about it. And since I couldn't process my feelings, I didn't really want to be there trying to process it in the moment of what was going on.
Right.
So other than that, my weekend was hustling, riding around, driving, doing Uber shit. And, so it was different, man. I was on Instagram a lot. I'm always on Instagram going over shit, looking over topics and stuff like that. So it was just like a kind of like pretty somber kind of weekend. Nothing really crazy. Not, what I mean? And I'm just keeping it real with that. I didn't want to start to show off like in this kind of dark area. It wasn't like dark to me, really. It's a bad thing to happen, but that's really what happened over the weekend. So
that was your weekend.
That literally was my weekend.
Right.
I mean? So it was kind of, but I had some coming into this podcast. I had some interesting conversations, and I'll kind of talk about what I had conversations with about over with time through the show. But if just to switch up the energy up, I want to talk about kind of what me and Lays was talking about over the phone, talking about Azealia Banks. If we can start there, because I know Lays has some things he wanted to talk about.
Put me up, because I do not know what happened with Azealia Banks. I just know that she offended somebody, because that's just how she get out.
She told and you wouldn't be wrong about that. She told obviously she offended somebody.
She offended she's the bitch who cries wolf.
Interesting.
We got rid of Iggy Azalea for this bitch.
Oh.
I vote that we bring Iggy back.
Oh, interesting.
I vote we got to bring Iggy back. Fuck that. We got rid of Iggy Azalea for Azealia Banks. No, I'm not rolling. And Iggy been looking bomb as fuck lately.
Oh,
no.
Interesting.
No.
Sisters, email us at.
So okay, well let me bring you up to speed. First of all, let you know where Lays is coming from. Azealia Banks just recently shot for MTV's Wildin' Out.
Fucking bitch.
I heard that.
Right? And during the taping of Wildin' Out, she couldn't, quote unquote, handle the pressure, and she broke down and cried.
She couldn't take these jokes.
She couldn't take the jokes, right? Her excuse was it was colorism, and they were just basically brutal, mean.
They ambushed her.
So they ambushed her because she said that she was told to come be on the show, but she said that she was told she didn't have to do really the skits or nothing like that. She's just gonna perform at the end and then kind of sit in, which I like to call people a liar, but I didn't believe that because that's not what Wildin' Out is. They're not gonna ask you to be a guest for you to sit out. I knew they had musical guests before where they're not on the show, they just come out and perform at the end also.
Right.
But they called her to be a part of it. If the jokes happen, you were called to be a part of Wildin' Out. If you know Wildin' Out, there's no limit. Right. Everybody gets talked about all the things. They be clowning Nick about his kidneys and shit. Like in Mariah's marriage, and Tiger was just on there, and they all had jokes about him dating young girls, underage girls. And he laughed right along with the jokes and played, did all the games, and everybody's a cool sport. You know what I mean?
My biggest issue is, nigga, Wildin' Out's been around for 10 plus years.
Right.
When you go to Wildin' Out, you know it's coming. All the shit you did in the media, public, all this shit, you know it's coming. So why would you even, if you're going to feel some type of way, why would you put yourself in this situation?
Right.
That's like coming in here and like trying to have a fucked up hip hop argument with us. Like, what? That's stupid.
So let me read you what her statement was when she finally went to Instagram and went big, supposedly, on what happened. She said, I did Wildin' Out today. This is Azealia Banks. I did Wildin' Out today. There were tons of pre-planned, colorist jokes, and of course, Crybaby cried. Some little scrawny black Atlanta twink was prepared for me. First problem is you were just talking about colorist jokes, and then you just some scrawny black Atlanta twink. So now you're doing the colorist thing and attacking the LGBT community, right? Mm-hmm. By calling him what he was. Now, I'm not sure if twink is necessarily a negative term, but how she used it was negative. Like to the gay man that's on Wild 'N Out. It's a guy who's gay on Wild 'N Out.
Oh, okay.
Who's openly gay on Wild 'N Out. He's not like hiding. He's openly gay. He's a character on Wild 'N Out, right? Not a character. He's a person on Wild 'N Out who's openly gay. That's what she's talking about right there in the first line. So that's kind of Anyway, so they planned this. They hit me on short notice. Told me I didn't have to participate in the coon ass freestyle battles. Not my style. And I was to sing my song and go home. I show up and some guy who's darker than me starts calling me ugly and being colorist. Then all of a sudden a choir of the most disgustingly black local, calicar, urban, pseudo-comedic, fat because you sit in a chair all day, greasy soul food induced, south of the Mason-Dixon, self-hatred, ass backward, post-Jim Crow, post-traumatic slave disorder, true self-esteem less, ward of the state clowns with their low-scale and highly unimpressive resumes start going off about how the beautiful Azealia Banks looks. I never felt so much hate and rage for anyone else than I did in that moment. Yeah, that happened, right? So that happened, right? And Nick Cannon. Oh, this she put on her Snapchat, or it looks like maybe
It was like an
Snapchat.
Insta Snap or some shit.
Insta Snap. It says, if I were to make fun of Nick Cannon for having lupus and being weak and sickly, if I made a joke that said he'd be dead by the end of the year, she put that, right? And Nick Cannon responded, don't you hate when you create your own storms, but forget your umbrella. So that's basically the whole thing about Azealia Banks, But some of the characters came out. I keep calling them characters, but the people on the show came out and said, like, no, it was literally 2 jokes about her. One they called her ugly, the other one they talked about her something, whatever, and that was it. And she broke down, cried, didn't want to leave the show. It was all fucked up after that, whatever. But they made the best of their thing and still did their joke thing, and it was that, But so what people are going in on her is that her reputation is she's always butting in people's business, being the quote unquote bully, right?
Right.
She has a problem with everybody. Like you assume once you heard her name, it was bullshit. She was attacking somebody or going in on somebody,
right?
But that's her. We know her for that. And so
right.
You get on the show like that, and somebody calls you ugly, and you can't fucking handle it. Like, you know what I mean? And you just fucking lose it. So now you look like the bully and the victim. You can't be both, though.
Right.
You can't just, you can't be both. So that whole thing happened. So Lays was.
I'm tired of this bitch. I'm really tired of this bitch. Like, for real.
I don't even.
Like for the culture, I'm tired of this bitch. This bitch don't got no good music. Like if she had good music to back this shit up, we wouldn't be talking about this shit. Like you're crying for everything. Every time we talk about you and we hear about you, it's because they don't give me the opportunities. They don't do this. Bitch, earn it. Do something. I hate this bitch, dog. Like literally, every time. At first, it was like we was kind of bagging on Little Mama at first, but now it's like we let her go, and Azealia Banks is fucking.
Look, Lil Mama became cool.
Exactly, Lil Mama became
Lil
cool.
Mama became cool.
Yeah, because look, once after the New York shit, which was the last joke, right? After the Jay-Z stage shit, whatever.
Was it?
First
No,
of all,
I think
that was because that was before Charlamagne.
Right. Okay.
Then it was the Jay-Z shit, right? But then she played the shit out of Left Eye.
Right.
Right? And niggas was like, hey, hold up. She played the shit out of that. Then she was on that judge of that dance show. I think whatever. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool, whatever. Then she started just doing her own thing, staying out the way, not trying to be a fucking.
But then the internet ate her ass up.
For what?
After that Charlamagne interview. You remember the memes?
No, Charlamagne was before that, though.
The memes?
Yeah.
She came back from the memes, you think?
No, I'm saying that was before that, though. She cried on memes and all stuff like that. She had that meme thing always could bring up. First of all, the meme thing her meme was still cracking, too. You know what I mean? The meme is still, that meme
Who's
pops
that
up.
ugly girl on my couch? It's endless Little Mama.
Right. Right. But people don't look. Lil Mama's not the. She's like I say, she's cool. She, it's like kind of like how.
But she earned her coolness.
Well, it's always something. That's the thing about the internet, right? Or the entertainment industry. Like you can be a joke one day, and then you literally aren't the joke the next day, depending on what's going on. Nigga, Ray J was Brandy's brother until he wasn't. Until Sexy Can I, cracking, then the show, Ray J Love, cracking. Then he became his own thing. Then the
Ray J the guy.
Then he's fucking Ray J. He's his own thing.
Tape. That's what made his whole career.
No. Sexy Can I. It was popping.
Sexy
independent.
Hold on, he got some other shit
and
too.
then Ray J, the Rain song, not Rain.
What's the name of that shit?
It was when he was in the rain, dancing in the rain, and shit like that.
Right. What's the name of that song? You know what's your name?
Nigga, you know the choreography. What's the song?
That shit was popping.
What's the name of the song?
I'm not dissing Ray J. Ray J cool.
One Wish.
One Wish, right? One Wish, banging, right? Everybody love One Wish, right? So he became like, okay. First, and wait a minute with Lil Kim. And wait a minute, Lil Kim popping. So
Independent, he had hits.
Right?
Ray J had hits. Oh my God.
Right.
Don't ever do that again.
Yeah, but it takes you. It only takes you. You know, you get a hit back. Look at Tiger, right? Which Tiger's been the joke on and off his whole career. Now he back like almost like in the middle of. You still in the middle of Kylie jokes. You just put out that video where you trying to dance. That's kind of weird. Joked about, but then the song niggas fuck with the song though. Like, you know what I mean? Niggas
with the white girl in the island video.
I don't know. I've never seen the video, but the
that.
song though, niggas is fucking with the song, and now you back cool. Like you back in the, you know, these fans are finicky. They'll swing whatever you swing. If you do lame shit, corny shit, you become that, and then you do cool. Okay, you cool. They switch on Chris Brown every other day, so and he's, you know what I mean? So it is what it is, man.
Bitch, I want Iggy back. Simple as
That's
that.
the bottom line of that.
Or just get rid of all Azaleas.
No, I want Iggy back.
No Azalea rule.
Interesting.
No.
Because I bet you if you know a girl named Azalea in the hood, she an asshole too.
Hey, I want to move to a serious topic if we can.
Azalea over here,
I want to do a serious topic if we can talk about serious topic.
Oh shit.
It gets
and so are you here?
Oh, she's here.
Okay, she is. So she has a mic. Okay, she has a mic over there. Because then, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna talk about a topic. This topic I actually think it's cool for her to jump into. What I'm about to say.
What up, Kenya?
First of all, introduce her properly.
Hailing from somewhere in the Los Angeles area, the hood but not hood, urban style, the style icon, Kenya Kirkland. Thank you.
So,
wait, where's the shit?
I didn't get here on
But
time.
you understand, naturally, I'm gonna go to what I call you.
You got to.
Okay, all right. Don't we understand that?
No, I'm gonna start. We all gonna start calling her Pooh. Hey, Pooh. Hey, Pooh.
I don't know her.
Because I naturally go. You know, oh, what's up, Pooh? You know. But I want to talk about. So this we do. So I have one serious topic. I got a couple of serious topics, but I got one serious topic that I want to know your opinion on, as well as these guys, right? And later on in the show, I put a post up today about I wanted ladies to ask men questions that they always wanted to know but never get clear answers on. And I have a couple of questions from some women who turned some questions in, whatever. And if you have some while we're asking, or you want to jump in some of the questions, or you know, then we'll do that also. But my first topic I want to talk about a post I put up from an internet friend of mine's by the name of Very Controversial.
Oh shit. Okay.
Controversial.
Fuck it. We ain't
anyway,
right.
Right. Very controversial by the name of Lydia Cotton. Right. Lydia Cotton, I follow. I start following from my friend Erica Flo, whose page is RIP right at the moment. Who I'm trying to get her back on. She's very hilarious, very beautiful. Erica Flo. That's my nigga. And she used to post her comments all the time. And like I said, it's very controversial. She gets on her shit, right?
In too deep.
Into a lot of times, and you know, he's already irritated. About to look like he already irritated.
Early.
I love controversial women.
Okay, so I'm going to read her post. Originally, her post. I'll repost it, and then I want to read. Before we respond, I want to read you a couple of her comments that people left, and then her answer to those comments, which will cover a couple of questions also. So, all right, okay, I'm gonna read her post first. She said, and I'm going to finish before we jump in there. All right, she said, women who hyphenate and or refuse to take the last name of their husbands are FDA approved garbage and should be left where you found them. Black people can't afford this kind of thought process. Did everybody get that? Yeah. Everybody got that? Okay. So, right. So,
wait, I would like to reintroduce Kenya Kirkland Kroom.
So, okay. So somebody said I haven't seen her explanation for why it's disrespectful. She said I have no clue why it would be. I was actually about to tag you. Oh no. She's talking to somebody else. Yeah, she said, I don't know why she find it offensive. So she said, let's put the idea that a woman doesn't think highly of the man she's marrying, that she won't take his name or keep hers in some way to the side. If you hyphenated your name, what name would you give your children? Right? That's one thing she said to them. The guy that the girl was talking to said, my kids definitely get my husband, my kids definitely get my husband's last name. And to be honest, if my husband has a problem with my name being hyphenated, I wouldn't, but I just didn't know it could actually be taken offensively to begin with, right? And then she responded, if you got a real man, sis, don't even ask him to hyphenate. It might be the first real blowout fight y'all have if he's a real man, right? And I'm going to read one more comment and one more response, and then we'll fully talk about this because it's going to cover some of the things, right? This other lady asked a question, said, well, I'm divorced now, but yes, my boys have both names, and he understood why I wanted them to carry my daddy's name, because once I changed my name, that would have been it. There would be no more Moses to carry my dad's name. So now my boys can carry on my father's last name. My dad was the only child between my grandmother and his father, and out of my father's 16 children, I am the only one with Moses as a last name. So, she got into why she kept his from the wishes of her dad or to keep the name going, right? So her response was, I see this. I say this completely in context of the discussion, but your father's. Okay, let me repeat it because where I stopped, I should have because I got to emphasize it, right. I say this completely in context of the discussion, but your father's inability to provide a legacy isn't and should never be the burden of your husband or ex-husband. Your dad had ample opportunity to be a man worthy of continuing his name through his sons, but for whatever reason, his behavior didn't enforce his inherent superiority with his woman or women to give his children his name. He, your husband, as a man, has every right to create his own legacy, and for a woman to adjust, modify, or steal is beyond disrespect. He did right. He married and a woman and had sons. He married and a woman and had sons. Your dad's failure shouldn't fall at the feet of anyone but himself. Any man that doesn't understand this and find it highly offensive, I find strange and would question who raised him. So, I can go on with a lot of other posts, but that's basically her stance on that.
Lays.
Oh, why'd it go straight to me?
Whoever. I just want to.
Too hard though. Like, I just feel like
that's what a lot of people felt too. They comment like she going a little hard,
my
but
man had to fail though, just because. Like,
Okay, what's your stance on it before you even?
I mean, my stance on it is when I was married, I took my husband's name, but that didn't have nothing to do with how I felt about my dad and my grandfather.
Right.
Until I got divorced. And I was like, fuck that. Let me put my daddy name back on there. But I worked hard for my married name because I felt like Tina Turner, nigga, you can have everything but my name. Because I worked for that. So, shit, I feel like do what you want to do, but it don't have a bearing on your father or your grandfather's failure or successes. That's
right.
That's my
right. Now,
shit to do with them.
And to that point, if I'm playing devil's advocate, right, what she's saying is, well, in that case, that's like it's like she's saying like, okay, like I'm not saying he's a failure, right? I'm saying that she's kind of saying like, look, if that's your father, well, no, what she's saying was his failure too, not him. He's a failure. She's saying his failure to have boys is kind of like it's not in the cards for him. It's not if your legacy lies with through your sons, your name and your legacy lies through the seed of your sons, right? If you didn't have any, then it's not in your destiny to have a legacy after that. That's just what. No. I'm saying that's what she's saying. No, I'm not her. I'm just saying like she's saying that like, and if your dad had 16 kids and you had no boys, then it's like nigga, that's where your name ends with you. Built like kind of like, and that part I don't necessarily agree or disagree with. That part is kind of like, well. Okay, let me let you know where my stance is on that, right? So I can further explain what I mean by this. The girl I'm going to marry, my girl.
You clean that shit up fast.
No, I'm saying like no, but she can't. I'm not sharing no name with nobody. Like, I don't care what happened with. Respectfully, I love her dad, I love her family, but I'm not sharing my throne with nobody.
Her last name gonna be Luck and just period.
Luck. Stupid. No, but I'm not. Me, in my opinion. Okay, now, I mean, my situation, right? I'm not sharing the throne with nobody. I feel like, me personally, I feel like you would be asking me to share the throne with your daddy.
Well, what if she say, I'm the last chance at the name going on? Even though when your last name is Moses, it's
because
like, nigga, that name ain't dying out.
Daughter turn. Now, right now, you're thinking about the fact of being the man, right?
No. This is something. Okay, look. So I was going to say, I would never, not me, because I understand. First of all, legacy is important to me, right? Yeah. But I also understand that lies with me, also. Like, so,
it's so much pressure on men to have boys. Oh, is it a boy? Oh, I want a boy.
Well, because
you gotta have a boy. I mean, daughters carry the legacy. We are.
See that? Now that's the thing. Look, you carry the legacy. In my mind, you carry the legacy anyway. Whether your name is my last name or not, you still my daughter. Right. So, if I did my job as a father, right, and I did great things, whether it's in business, whether it's in family, whatever I've built to be memorized, be memorialized throughout life and be told in the memory of that, then that's my legacy. And then you will forever tell that to your children, and you let them know your father, their grandfather, was a great motherfucker. He was an ill nigga through that legacy. Right. Some people attach the name also has to be the story. The name has to be on something.
I definitely don't think the kid's last name should be hyphenated though.
No, right. So she said that. So
I agree with
but she's saying that also. She said if you hyphenate and pass that on to your kids, then same bucket. But if you give your kids the last name of your husband so he can do his legacy thing,
right?
That's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But me, I'm not sharing. We can't share the throne. We can't because I'm building my own structure, my own family. I would never ask my daughter to share my name with the nigga she is marrying. He need his own legacy. I don't want no piece and no part of his legacy. He needs to build his own. And really, on some real shit, I'm looking at him funny if he would allow that shit. I'm like, nigga, that's your own shit. I would never share my throne with nobody. How you gonna let her keep me? Look. Your daddy ain't there when we have sex. Your daddy ain't there. We have our intimate times.
Is he?
He gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would we share that? Like, I wouldn't ask my daughter to do that. She need to take the name of
she's married.
Yeah.
But now, outside of you asking her, but say you love a person where, okay, all what you would do aside, she like, look, this important to me based on my relationship with my daddy who's gone and now da-da-da. You not considering it?
Wait, who? My girl?
Yeah.
No. I just told you.
No.
Okay. It's her daddy's
my
last dying request.
I've literally had this conversation with my lady. I'm not sharing the throne with nobody. You want his name, you marry him. Period.
Boom.
If you want that name, you marry him. I'm not sharing the throne. Look, because it already took a lot for me to get to the place I am right now. Like, you know what I mean? With where I am in my relationship, what I'm choosing to do, and how am I choosing to go out this world with my lady and be faithful.
He said, "Go out this world."
Yeah.
Somebody was gasping like, "Girl, he said, go out this world."
That's you alive. But you just took it away from me now. It's like a joke now. Like,
this episode is hashtag goals.
You alive.
Goals.
No, but on some real shit, I just couldn't. I'm not sharing that throne with nobody, and I don't. When I look at I kind of agree with her, not to the point of maybe the anger behind it or telling you your father's he kind of failed, but
yeah, the daddy girl in me couldn't oversee that part.
Yeah.
I agree. Like, you gotta honor the man that you married, right? And then his kids definitely gotta take his name, but the daddy's girl in me like, wait a minute, did you say my daddy a failure?
Yeah, but she.
Okay, let me ask.
If you don't have no sons, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like,
not a fair, but you gotta think though that if legacy in the name, which we put legacy on the name, right? If your name can't live on if you don't have the sons. Your daughter can't create that because once she marries, she's supposed to take the name of the man. Mm-hmm. So really, my legacy kind of stops. I won't say dies because to me that depends on what the family choose to do after that and how they, family statues and buildings are built to
Right.
keep that going. You know what I mean?
Okay, let me say this example. Because I wouldn't do it either, right? But at the same time, there are times I think about why I wouldn't do it, right? I wouldn't do it because, obviously, like you said, you don't want to share the throne. And I'm like, what is your family? Like, why would I entertain that? But
Right.
okay. So now she like, wait a minute, I'm a boom, boom, boom.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm a terrible example, but like Rothschild. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, no, that's what my family is.
Right.
Like, I'm hyphening that. Right. So, what's your shit?
Right.
In that situation, I would be like, okay, that's up for discussion.
No,
if your family impact is that strong and your family legacy is like that, then it's up for discussion.
Now that's the thing. So it's all about what you value at that point as either a rule breaker or how important that is to you. Like me, I don't give a fuck what you got going on. I'm not sharing my motherfucking name.
Your wife is Quincy Jones' daughter. She's Quincy Jones set of the 13th.
She ain't finna be Quincy Harden Jones, nigga. Not at all. She better marry her fucking daddy if she want that name. Because at the end of the day, she's still Quincy Jones' daughter. The money's still gonna come through there. They gonna whatever they going to do.
It's the same.
To make that.
If I have a daughter, I'm not having no kids. If I have a daughter, either I'm not having no kids. I have one kid. I'm nothing everywhere after that. I'm having 1,000 kids. So anyway, I'm not having none. Right? Whole new conversation. But if I did have girls and like, I would be like, nah, man. If your nigga's not shit, if his family's not shit, like hyphenating is in the cards. I'm sorry, fuck him.
You said if your family not shit.
If I have a daughter, and she get with somebody where I'm like, man, like. And she entertaining that, I wouldn't be pushing that. But if she entertaining that, I like, no, I'm a Umi. I'm not giving that up.
Right.
Oh yeah, what is his family? They what?
Right.
Yeah, we're not giving that up.
So you from
I'm pro that from the dad side. Hell yeah, because see, I built my shit for an umbrella for all my. I don't give a fuck about what the tradition is.
Yeah.
We make our own tradition and my shit. So it's like,
you my daughter. I'm not talking about tradition. I'm talking about
legacy.
No, we all talking about legacy at the end of the day, right? But I'm not looking at it from that. I'm looking at it like I wouldn't want my daughter to do that. And okay, you said look at it from
you looking at it from a respect level.
Because I wouldn't do it for me. I'm like, all right, put myself in those shoes. So okay, you change the game if you say, okay, your daughter married a nigga, and my name is whatever it is. It's the big deal thing. Whatever, I built companies or whatever behind this shit, and then his family got maybe not so good history, and the name don't mean shit, whatever. So you don't want to take his name over your name, right?
I'm saying if she want to hyphenate that, I'm with that.
Right.
Or if it's a thing where, like, say I raise my kids up a little bit more, like, culturally aware. So if I have a daughter, she might love somebody who got an American slave last name. And she may be like, I can't just take that. Like, that ain't even yours. It ain't no legacy involved.
This is the thing.
At all.
So you got a whole nother dynamic that can happen in that situation, right?
Right. Because legacy?
Well, you could have, first of all, when you hyphenate it in marriage, now you hang that bullshit on your bullshit.
I'm just saying, if your last name is Johnson, you don't got no legacy.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That don't apply for you.
That's what I'm saying. If her name is Umi, right?
Right.
And his last name is
Clark,
whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Now it's Clark Umi, right?
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing in itself. Umi Clark, whatever.
Right.
That's a whole nother thing in itself.
Right.
That name is attached to your name no matter what.
Right.
And that man got bullshit on the end of it. But it's attached to your name, period, through marriage. Now, through the kids, y'all can change it up again.
But it's still a perversion.
Definitely
it's not the pure thing. Whatever.
That's what I mean. It's a perversion. It's definitely a perversion.
Right.
But it's still attached. Like, so my daughter, I'll be like, look, I'm not with none of that shit, whatever. But I'm not gonna fight you for that. I wouldn't fight my daughter for the other. If my name was just regular and she married a nigga with,
I'm not fighting for
I'm
nothing.
I'm not fighting her. I'm not pushing it. I'm not gonna be the one to push it for the hyphenate.
So say for example, say for example, I got. So me and my siblings don't all have the same last name, but I'm one of the alpha males in my family, definitely in that structure. My mom's kids, all that shit. So my sister have a couple of kids. Not to get all into her shit, but she have kids by one dude, and he just wasn't on his shit. He wasn't about to be there. She knew that. Like she know. Like okay, nah, my kid's not about to go underneath you.
Right.
They not even going underneath my dad. My kid's named after my brother because my brother is the king of this whole shit. Mm-hmm. So any kids that don't have nobody being responsible, they get my brother last name.
Right.
Because that's what we're going to pay for. That's going to stay with them. That's where that's going to go on.
Now, why did...
whatever.
Because she didn't want to name him after her name, last name, because of whatever. The relationship with the parents.
She a girl. She not passing on no legacy from her father. She don't have that burden.
That's what I'm saying. So, got it.
So, who the immediate one she would go to was like, no, I'm going to my brother last name. That's a real blood thing, and it's the next option.
I get that.
So, if somebody... I could imagine them being like, yo, I have my last name for a specific reason. So, if you're not giving me something specific, your name is just like some fucking name that I don't want to align with, whatever reason it might be. Right. Like, I don't care with them adding the hyphen on there and doing whatever they got to do, because you still got to go by this at the end of the day.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
No, I dig that too. I mean, what was she gonna do in that aspect? What was she gonna do? My sister named my nephew her last name or our last name because baby daddy wasn't shit, and he was out before even whatever. So she wasn't gonna give a nigga that name. We do have other situations where people we may know where somebody took somebody's last name and that name ain't even in the family, and then they pass that name on to a baby, and start another tree of somebody who was never around and not even in the family, and I'm not with that. I wish that this person wouldn't have did that. You know what I mean? But that's a whole nother fucked up leg of a legacy that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Right. You know what I mean? So I think basically where I'm at on it is, for me, I'm not sharing my throne. Like I said, I'm not sharing my throne with nobody, and no matter what, because I feel like the things I'm doing here on earth in my relationship and God willing, I'll be able to continue to do
on earth, because the shit I do in space don't have nothing to do with this.
I don't know where I'm going tomorrow. I don't know what you don't know. I might be. Then if I do that, then what? Could you imagine somebody telling Neil before he went, like, nigga, space, you crazy? And he went. Like,
you hang around with niggas calling themselves astronauts every day. You can do whatever you want.
That's killer.
Right.
That's killer.
Wait, so.
Right. But you, right.
On from the last name thing, because Kenya was like, y'all talking about shit that got to do directly with me. Can y'all do some basic topics that don't have nothing to do with me?
No, what you mean? I wasn't.
She got a hyphen. She had a hyphen.
I want you to get on that post because,
I hyphen my shit after the fact, so it really didn't go online after I thought.
She always got that little, why you can't put her in there? No, but see, I graduated a year earlier, so really, I wasn't in their class, although.
Can we do one heavy topic before I move on to like something else?
Oh, how heavy?
How heavy?
It's heavy as fuck.
Go for it.
Yeah, was that okay? Wait, my bad. I'm sorry. Do y'all not want to do heavy topic?
No. The lady says go for it. She was happy.
Okay, it's heavy topic, but I just want to know.
Okay, what is it?
This is very heavy. Very heavy topic. Because it's serious. It's not really like a joke topic. It's a heavy topic.
Right, so
We got what made me want to ask this was I was listening to a podcast, one that I subscribe to, Van Lathan's Red Pill podcast. I don't know if anyone listened to that. I'm a fan of his podcast also, right? And on that are we going to break, Rob? This is what this is? Okay.
He only moved like 3 times.
Yeah,
break.
You gotta,
snack.
Right. Yeah. I gotta ask. Right. So I listened to Van Lathan's podcast, and they were talking about Tariq Nasheed was on the podcast. Active Hidden Colors. He did Hidden Colors documentaries, right? He used to have that book. It was called Play or some shit. Remember the old girl from Destiny Child was on the cover. That's why she ended up getting basically outed of Destiny Child. I forgot one of the original members. She was on the cover of that book. Yeah. Remember that? Yeah. Tariq Nasheed was kind of like a Mac at first, but he ended up becoming like an activist and scholar and all that shit like that.
A Mactivist.
Yeah. So anyway, he did all the Hidden Colors documentary. You've seen those documentaries; they're amazing. Go check them out if you haven't seen them. It's 4, part 1 through 4 is out now. So anyway, so him and Andrew Schultz from the Brilliant Idiots had an episode where they were getting into it, and the topic was about basically like white supremacy. Right, and Andrew Schultz is a white dude who kind of like his thing is the numbers, like white people do. Their things are stats, right? And then they go by stats, and stats didn't become law, right? And so it's hard to argue certain things when you aren't the actual people going through the shit. Like, you can't tell me about numbers with police when I've been going through this shit my whole life, and me and my homeboys have been dealing with this. You can't tell me about numbers and what doesn't affect me or not, right?
Right.
So the question I want to ask from that is, when it comes to the black American, right? When it comes to the black American, how much is white supremacy to blame for the hurdles we face here in this country? Because, well, no, what I'm saying is because Andrew Schultz was saying like, or a lot of blacks are kind of like white supremacy is like the blame for everything, right? Almost like everything we do is blocked by white supremacy, right? And yes, we have people who make it through the cracks, but 90-some% of the shit that stop us is from white supremacy, right? And then Andrew Schultz is like, no, some things aren't white supremacy. Something is just this. This happened because of the numbers or whatever happened, or if more white people are, if more white people are on welfare, it's because there's this many more white people than black people there are in America. Like, it's a stat thing with him. So it's like, that's by the numbers. It's not like a black and white thing. Like, so that's why I asked the question, like, to you guys, how much is white supremacy to blame for all of our hurdles? Like, how much you think? Like, and I'm not asking for a number. I'm just thinking, like, is it almost to blame for everything? Can you almost put that in front of everything?
Even the shit that I want to say, like, no, that's just
Talking to the mic, baby.
that's just, nigga shit. The shit that we say is a mindset, and that's, we blame it on black folks. It still goes back to the core of white supremacy. Like, even because we haven't been free and making money and doing the things that we do now for the same amount of time that we were enslaved. We don't know things about our ancient culture and where we actually came from. So there's a big linkage, and all that is due to white supremacy. To me, like, no matter how we cut it, no matter what stats there are, it all traces right back.
When you get under the layers, you still gonna find that as the beginning to our problems, and then
period.
So what do you guys think about that?
Right. Plus the stat thing is like, what stats? Like,
First of all, I didn't have that conversation, but right, like who took these stats? What numbers? Who?
there's always a stat that can back up whatever you think about somebody negative or positive.
Right.
So where you getting your stats from to validate what you're talking about? First of all, but the whole theory of something being systematic is that nothing acts or responds or lives independently of everything else. Nothing happens like, oh, this just happened and I don't have nothing to do with nothing. Like, nah, that's not what systematic racism means.
Right.
It means like, no, there's a way that this affects everything. That's why we do things the way we do it, so that you don't have this happen on some freak nature accident of like, you came up. Right. We know you came up. We knew you could come up. Obama didn't shock nobody who was within the system of keeping this or that back, and it's not even at this time. It's automatic, so it's not even so much of many people just saying, "I'm trying to keep this person back." You know what I mean? Like, my experience with white people is they just be trying to stay ahead, if anything. So, nothing's not going to be covered.
But even with that though, right? So that's kind of like a deeper thing. If you say white people are just trying to stay ahead, that's kind of telling with the whole superiority thing, right?
Yeah, that's what, man. It's funny, we were talking about this the other day.
And I only say that because, and I know that you wasn't saying that, but I only say that because I noticed that, like, I was listening to their conversation, and he was trying to call Andy on, stop calling it something else, call it what it is, right? So that, like, I can say that, oh yeah, white people want to stay ahead, and then, people don't really hear what that really is, and like, well, yeah, because they think everything else is inferior to, you're inferior to them. So that's what that actually is, like, kind of like, I was kind of like calling it what it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, so everybody here dealt with people, with white people and other races that have money, and the ones that don't. Right. Like, that 1%, 3% who got money, they don't care about the white people that's next to you that you can run into either.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so
right.
It's just what trap you in and what trap is you going for. You know what I mean? Like, in the hood, it's funny because you in a black neighborhood, you see a gang of liquor stores and a gang of fucking shit to keep a motherfucker just partying or just kind of like from... Yeah, fast food, all that. Right, the food is fast food.
Right.
And then they only allowing you to buy bullshit. Like, when you go to 7-Eleven, like, I could walk around for 30 minutes and be like, dang, it's not even really a real orange juice. Like, all of them is only 1% something.
Right, yeah.
Everything kind of weird and fake. Okay, so that's our thing. and we think our shit is fucked up, and we want to move to where they live, right? But then when you go to their thing, everybody here been in Beverly Hills, like think about what's happening to them, right? Like think about when somebody know what you have and do things according to what they know about you. I know you got money, so because we got you fearful of all the other races and we got you tucked off right here, water is $4.
right.
Because we got you scared of other races, there's not going to be no authentic Mexican food here because that would bring Mexicans.
Right.
There's not going to be no you get fusion, everything.
Right.
You ever been in Beverly Hills, bro?
Right, real talk.
It sucks.
Right.
It's only police is pulling over Lamborghinis and fucking with them.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And if you just kind of do the wrong thing, you feel what I'm saying? But like they getting overcharged for everything because they know they got it.
Gas is literally like $6.
Man,
Like,
you would think with all that they tell you about a neighborhood and safety. Have you ever been in like Bel Air? They're not walking around their hood either.
And you know what the mind fuck is in that, which is sick, is that so water is $4 and gas is $5-6.
$5-6.
So you know what we think? Not our people
That's
think
better.
they think it's better because it's $5 and water is $4. Like it's the thing.
But we seen the
Like,
same
you know what I mean?
brands. It's still Fiji.
Remember niggas used to floss Voss water? Like that was just
the shit.
It was just
Right,
like,
but I'm talking about the obvious, like,
You know what I
dude,
mean?
the same battle of Arrowhead is $1.
Right.
Now,
yeah.
if I feel like you in a mental trap if you let somebody charge you $2 more for water and you're saying it's because I just tacked that on so I live in a good neighborhood.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's not free thinking. You're
Right,
not
right.
free either, bro.
Right.
You hopped up on
Yeah.
fear shit,
Yeah.
and you would pay extra to not get robbed on water.
Or
You feel what I'm saying? Like you
Or-
get robbed to not get robbed.
but is it that white acceptance? Is it that kind of like how we I mean the people I'm generalizing now, right? How we look at white people for acceptance and certain shit. So it's not that we're saying the better neighborhood per se. We're saying like we're kind of the undertone of it. If you take the layers off, it's like no, because white people do it. Remember the song? The
It's
YG?
club fed.
Remember what the YG line and that 2 Chainz
That's stupid.
that YG song, right? When he
right.
say, "I got white folk money." What he say? I got
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
got
of them white folks.
like the white folks, like money like the white folks, something like that. I'm like, damn, like money like the white. What does that mean? Is that a different money than
Right,
our
it's
rich
all
people
great.
make?
But see,
like, you know what I mean?
That's looking at it from our perspective. I'm saying, dude, if you white and you listening to this,
Oh, right.
Look
Okay,
from
I dig
your
it.
perspective.
Right, I dig it. Right.
you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, why
yeah.
would you feel okay getting like taken advantage of? You feel what I'm saying? Like, and you really don't know why. Because it's a different. Okay, I live in Inglewood.
Well, if they really
right?
don't know why, would that be? Would they know they're being taken advantage of if they
Do
don't
we?
know why?
That's the whole point. It's a mental genocide.
Right.
The 3%
Yeah,
don't care
yeah.
if you black or white,
Right,
or if you live in
right.
broke ass
Okay,
Beverly
look.
Hills. Because look at this. Let me ask this last thing. So in Ladera, Inglewood, if you're in LA, you know Ladera, Inglewood area, and you go to. I used to go to the Ralphs on Ladera and fucking Centinela.
Right.
Ladera Center, right? Okay, now we know that area being gentrified, right? Okay, so how you know it's being gentrified? Not only because of the white people you're seeing, because there's a Starbucks, and we know Starbucks not good for you.
In there and across.
It's not a health food
Right.
place, right? Okay.
Right.
There's the one in the Ralphs. There's one in the parking lot with the Ralphs. There's one across the
Right across the
street,
street, yeah.
from the parking
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
in the Ralphs, and there's one 3 blocks down
Right.
at the
That's crazy.
on Centinela
Yeah,
and La
Centinela,
Brea,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's 4 within 5 minutes walking.
Yeah.
That's not for us.
No, not at all.
That's because, like, dude, we know they drug too.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Right,
but
right.
you be so hyped up on
Right.
thinking they prison better than your prison that you just be like, I'm just trying to
Yeah.
get there. You feel what I'm
Right,
saying? Like,
right.
that's why it's like about getting to your own shit, regardless
look,
of what that is.
So when you talk about, now I'm kind of shifting the conversation, right? When you talk about the world's 1% or the people in control or whatever, right? Then you got to talk about capitalism, true capitalism,
Right.
So when we deal with true capitalism, are we still talking about racism?
Nah, capitalism is the upgrade of racism.
Right. So
better.
right.
It's better
right. Because
because it's not so many colors. It's just green
It's
or
just
not.
Right. And I say that because when I had these conversations with people and we get to talk about money or somebody, and I hate to say fake woke because I understand that's a trend, but I'm always for anybody trying to learn anything. So if you are if you are new to information and trying to spew it, you may sound a little off. That's fine with me because I'm glad you're doing something, right? To so I don't get into the calling niggas hoteps and and all that shit like that. But when we talk about the money or we talk about the world 1% or the powerful, right? I'm always like, well, actually, they're not thinking about neither one of y'all, like you or the white dude who ain't got no bread. That's bread up there. They all worried about is you got that bread. Like if you don't got the bread, we look down on all of you. It's not just like a black or a white thing. I still
think it's racism within that circle, though.
Well,
I still think that when you get up there, you've made it there, but it's not necessarily comfortable. Or you may have access to some deals or to a certain lifestyle, but you still not about to be treated the same. You still gonna get the look and still feel like, oh shit, I'm the black person in the yacht.
I think so too. I think so.
It's the yacht, but like. These dudes I'm talking about,
there's levels
they not tripping off of money either.
Yeah,
like somebody told me this. Yeah, this dude told me this, and I was like, "Dang, that's real as shit." He was like, "Man, the only thing in the whole world worth like spilling your blood over is land."
Right. Yeah,
that's the only thing you go fight for real.
Yeah.
So when you finish, you own land, then you win it. You don't got to worry about neighbors, other motherfuckers, or nothing. You feel what I'm saying? So. That percentage is not trying to rent the best place in the best area. They trying to own Beverly Hills,
right?
Like under the person who think they rich, like,
right.
He rent for me,
right.
That's a $18 million house on my He just got that land up.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. And I'll be thinking, but then I think too, like when you get to it's kind of like the OJ line in
land and food stamps.
The story of OJ, right? Remember that Jay-Z said the line about OJ? I'm not black, I'm OJ, and nigga, okay, right? When you are rich as fuck and you get to that level, and whatever level that is, and then the white people in the room still looking at you like you different,
and
right?
Most time we forget, and we get like,
and that's where the problem comes in. You forget that you will be like Oprah found out when she was at the Louis store in France or whatever. They was like, bitch, who? Like, you know what I mean? And what are you doing here? And do you got bread? And then the world had to go big for them to get outed and then find out, that was Oprah. She was a billionaire. But look what happened first, though. They didn't give a shit. They looked at you like you was somebody else, one of us walking through the store. Right? Right, you know what I mean? So, right. And she got more money than most people on earth. Like, you know what I mean? So I definitely get that. But at the same time, I don't know nobody at the level of that. Like if we knew of somebody who was like where Warren Buffett and them are, like I'm talking about blacks, right? Mm-hmm. And like I'm not saying that when you get to that level, you're not looked at as to them whatever or nigger or whatever they want to call you, but I don't know nobody who is to even know. Not that I think differently, like I don't think that, but when I talk about capitalism, like that when we say true capitalism, right? I'm like, dude, what are you on? Like I got this bread for real, and if you care about the bread, I got this bread for real. I got more bread than most of the people you probably do business with, right? So is that a thing heavy enough to even be talked about? And what I mean by that is we all have our suspicions, our little things about all kind of races that are not ours, right? Everybody, like blacks, white, whatever. We all have our thing where we say stuff to each other that we might not say to somebody else because of what they are. But in essence, like something you might have said about some white boy or some white person, whatever, in the behind closed doors, whatever, and you're not acting like a certain way out in public, then so what? Like
I assume everybody's racist. Black,
me too.
White,
Me too. Like,
but I'm talking about the people who like. I watched a couple of shows a couple of times about these dudes, like, because I always thought like they're always talking about like our population in America and like there's only room for so many people. But then you take these long drives and you like, nigga, it ain't nothing
there
nowhere. Right. Or you take a flight and you look down and you literally see like cities full of shit, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, nah, that's where people money is. Right. It's somebody who owns this border to that border to that border to that border, and all they want to do is hold it. They're not allowing America to grow in that space. You feel what I'm saying?
That's why I hear about Bill Gates and all the population control and all the things he want to do behind closed doors about basically killing a lot of people. You know what I mean? And I'll be like, wait, where are these people at? Because there's not really a lot of. But I be thought that too. Like, man, people somebody own that land right there. Like,
they
so
own
you can't
so
just
much
go.
land, you can't legally get access to it as the government.
Right.
Like, no. Nigga, I own almost a state.
Yeah.
So, which order are you trying to enter
Right.
through? And then where do you get the freedom to do that? Like, nah, I own this. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's levels to that. So, anyway.
So okay,
serious.
before we wrap that, and so the last thoughts on this. So we agree. Do we agree that when we look at the bare root of what white supremacy is and all what it's done, when you get down to the beginning of it all, right? Then technically it would be the blame for everything. I'm talking about rooted.
It would have something to do with everything.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a step away from whatever that's fucking with it.
It's
Right.
It's something.
Right.
Completely.
But
it's something.
But I understand people's point when sometimes it's not enough to be able to blame white.
Got it. Exactly. I
Like,
think
yeah,
that
it do got something to do with it, but nah.
Like, dude cut you in on the freeway, cut you off on the freeway. That probably doesn't mean he's a racist. Like,
Right.
but it probably does.
But if you got,
But he probably is.
It's not enough for me to bury the nigga and be like, oh, he's a fucking racist white supremacist. Like, no, he just cut you because he's an asshole when he drives. He probably didn't look back to even know you black.
Right.
Like that. That's what I mean as far as that.
But
like,
anything comes of the situation,
Uh-huh.
like any like complaints.
Oh,
then you'll know.
Right. Right.
Then it'll kick in.
All right, man.
I think everybody should be supremacists of their race, though. So shout out the white supremacists and the black ones.
You can't.
No.
I'm with that. I'm actually with that.
Tariq Nasheed made a good point when he told Andy Schultz that when he said, you can't have two supremes. There's only one. You can't. That doesn't make sense. You can't have.
Why not?
Because supreme means supreme over all. You can't have two. Me and you can't be supreme thing over all. I would be supreme over you, or you over me.
Taco
and everything
supreme,
else.
nacho supreme.
You can lower the level that low, right? and one is the supreme of all burritos, and one is the supreme of all nachos or tacos and nachos, right? Over nachos and tacos. Now we talking about white supremacy was the system built for.
I'm saying everybody got to
people in
fight for
general,
that. I feel like everybody got to fight for that. Like
we trying
until
to.
it's at the detriment of somebody else,
Look,
and
the
that's
reason-
where it's a
No,
problem.
the
I was
reason-
just
I
I
sitting
don't
here
think that's your
thinking.
responsibility.
Listen. The reason why we don't have no other supremacy.
It's because whites are good at it.
Right. They're the best at it. That's why there's no other supreme.
You can't get mad all the way at that.
I'm not even mad at
Okay,
all
I'm
that.
with
I'm saying that's why you can't have two. That's why you can't.
You just gotta be aware of it because it affects
even
you.
mean
Ooh.
at that level?
Soul Plane 3 will be out. No, I'm just moving on.
So we're back from break and we're drinking
Shout out.
peach Bellinis. Right.
With Kenya Kirkland from
Shout
the
out
Vanity Showroom.
bringing the peach Bellinis through. And you said this is exclusive.
I was just playing.
Shit, that was more baller when you said that.
You should just roll.
We should have rolled with that. Maybe people just go there. Maybe
should've-
not even look for it. Just go to this.
I
place.
tried not to bust her out. I knew that in the beginning.
But you did, though.
Off air.
Off air.
Oh,
No,
We back.
You know where, but you can't get it. But you can't get it there.
you can get it there.
Okay, now this is where the place you need to get it. Right.
Right.
You got to turn the bottle around. The bottle. This nigga turn around back.
We not
towards him.
promoing
we
them.
don't
Ain't no
wanna
check
promote
for that.
No, but
Just know that the bomb ass peach Bellini,
Okay, and you get that where from?
Come over to Lay's house. That's how
Vanity
you get
Style
it.
Showroom in Inglewood,
Address.
1323 North La Brea.
Okay, in Inglewood, people remember that.
3 O's.
This shit bomb.
shit is good. So
And her clothes there is nice too.
Her what?
She do sell clothes there.
I was about to say, and
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not.
we promote nothing else. Like it's
I
like
was saying,
it's
it's
like
not
a bed,
for sale.
like a bed like right. It's like a bed like
It's
come
not
get
for
your
sale.
Bellini.
It's just for my clients when they come through and they want to get right real quick.
Vanity Fair is a clothing store.
Vanity Showroom.
Vanity Showroom. Vanity
Yes.
Fair. Look at me.
I would never make that mistake.
Oh man, my branding guy said the same shit
Damn.
earlier today.
Can I say I'm drunk? It's too fast, too early.
Too
Way
early for that
too
little
early.
sugar. You high off sugar? That ain't
I mean,
drunk.
I'm buzzing a little bit. You know, niggas be fake.
like,
Or
damn, this
girls
shit
be
got
hella
me
fake when they want to do something. Like, dude, what did you put in my drink? Like water, bitch.
He double
No, but-
cupping Bellinis.
No, but
How you gonna double cup a Bellini?
That's a ball. That's a ball. Fuck it. It's hip
You
hop.
ballin',
Hip hop.
you
You do
ballin'.
that.
But anyway, y'all can hit us
Lazy
up.
F baby.
Wait, so what? Anyway, make sure y'all follow us on Instagram at OverRated Truth. Twitter, overrated TRU pod. Our email is overratedtruthpod@gmail.com. Yeah, man, hit us up. I've got some Instagram, Twitter, email, SoundCloud.com/overrated-truth. The iTunes podcast app, Google Play. I am working on it to get us on Spotify as well, but we'll see how that goes.
Go to our YouTube, subscribe, all that.
Yeah, YouTube.com/local-astronauts.
Shit. God.
Y'all can follow me on Snapchat at LazyBGetGreat. I do accept news, ladies. Holla at me. Yeah. Yeah, I hope.
Hello out there, ladies.
Oh my God.
Hey, so okay.
On the docket.
Are we on the questions? Now we're on questions, right?
On the questions, man. Let's get
So I posted today for the ladies. I want them to send in questions that they want to ask men that they can never get a clear answer for, okay? The questions that women are asking, basically us, because we're the men, right?
So we're representing all men.
We're representing all men right now,
All right.
which I'm fine with that.
That's cool.
Okay,
Right.
so on behalf of all men,
On
can I
behalf of
rephrase
all-
that? What answers we're getting?
On
These
behalf-
are the questions that women have that they have not been able to shut up long enough to get the answer to from all men.
That was by Drew, ladies and gentlemen.
Good King.
Chances are you've heard this in some way, but
Right.
you weren't listening. You were yelling back.
Wow.
You're aside.
Wow.
Okay.
So, here's the first question.
So.
And once again, special guest Kenya K is in the house.
Oh man,
And we would
I'm
love.
not representing all the ladies.
And
by the way.
if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, because we're professional. We've done this before. We have all the info, and we're answering on behalf of all men. I'm sure you can get your question answered today, right?
Or if you got questions after this show, you can hit us up at overratedtruthpodcast@gmail.com.
Look at ladies.
And he did in his Code 45 voice too.
Professional. So the first question coming from, I didn't ask if I could say the lady's name. It's the only thing.
Did you ask her, could I say it?
No, I did not ask that. So I don't want to ask the
Protect
name.
identity.
Okay, ladies. I'm not going to say your name this show because I didn't ask you if you were cool with it or not, and it's too late to ask. But I will ask you next time for if you want to be known or not to be the
We
first
gotta
person.
do
to
this.
answer.
But
This
what
kinda be
that
like a weekly
mouth
thing.
do 378? This is your question.
Whoa. No. So somebody asked, actually a friend of mine asked, is it true that men can really be in love with more than one woman? Whoa.
Ladies,
Wait a minute. The side.
The side.
The
Fuck, that's what
side.
you want to know, man?
That's the first question.
Hell yeah. No, I'm just playing.
the first man has spoken.
Can we be?
Could not shut up long enough.
To your point earlier.
These are the questions that women have not been able
right.
to shut
Don't
up.
shut up.
So I got this. I'll take over this.
Okay,
one.
please.
Let me,
Okay.
and I'm gonna be perfectly
Lord have
honest.
mercy,
I'm
Rob
gonna
gonna give me a napkin, tissue, or nothing. Go ahead.
Niggas.
You got you got grand opening lights in my face, but I just, Lord have mercy. Come on, bruh.
All right,
Ain't
but
been
anyway,
over nothing. Lord
can
have
we be
mercy.
in love with two women at once?
She didn't ask that. You looked at her like she
No, I'm
asked
just,
that.
she's the
Okay.
only woman
Okay.
in the room.
She's all the women.
Not all the women. I don't even want to know the answer to that shit.
Ken, what are your thoughts on this, ladies?
No, honestly, no. You only really love one woman. One.
Code 45.
No, listen. Hear me out.
Okay.
Please.
You can love one woman, but you don't necessarily. You can tell another motherfucker you love her. Don't necessarily really love her. I used to do that shit. Like, I love you. I love this one girl, and tell the other bitch like I love you, and I really don't love the bitch at all, or ever loved her.
I could love two women.
Niggas love to fuck. Like, that's what we love to do.
So,
Tell me you love me. Just
I've
fuck.
thought about this question, and my answer is a little different from Lay's answer.
I can't love two women at once.
I think
First of all, you call them all bitches, so it's like
we know your
I
answer.
can't love two rat ass bitches at once. Oh, because
This
you
is
loyal
peak-
to one rat
So-
ass.
It's this peach shit y'all gave me.
So, two things, right? Hopefully, ladies, this is just what I think. And in my world,
Courtesy of bad luck.
my word is law, but it's only in my world, though. My world should not affect your world. But you did ask me, so I'm going to answer
Disclaimer.
this question. I think that a man can definitely be in love with two women at one time. Yes, being in love, not just love. Yes, being in love. And to shake it up a little more, I also want to add that the only thing different than a wife and a side piece, a wife.
Oh shit! Nobody asked you that.
No. I literally had all this written down already. Matter of fact, you can see on the thing I had it written down already. Right?
That don't make it right.
So no. It gets tricky because I want people to understand this because this happens, right? And I've seen people in the situation, and I've
it's
dibbled and dabbled, right? So the only difference between a wife in her place and a true down side piece in her place, the only thing changes that is kids. The only thing that changes that is kids. Because if there were no kids in the picture, then the wife and the side piece will be on even planes. The only thing that will give the wife the edge is kids.
What if the wife don't have
Hell
kids with
no.
you?
Then I just told you they're on the
See,
even
just
plane.
field.
He just married one before the other.
That's bullshit. I don't like that answer.
So hold on. So
Now listen. Let
Do I get
me explain that. Right? Okay. Because it's always somebody to feel, whether the wife or the side piece. Usually it's the wife, right? That feels like she has basically first right of refusal to everything. What I mean by the first right, she's the wife and she whatever. A lot of times, what y'all don't know is the wives is that side piece has been here longer than you and been through more shit than you, and she don't trip as much as you may trip. She has settled in her role of being a side piece and
Until she becomes the wife.
or
Then she gets to trip.
until she
and
becomes
acting the same motherfucking way.
Okay, a little right. I see what you're doing here, but
You singing the gospel now, bro.
but well, I'm saying that because that happens a lot where that dudes, it's like pimps sometimes. A lot of pimps do fall in love with their bottom bitch. It happens for real. Like, you know what I mean? And with people who with long time, you know, niggas with real long time relationship side piece been having side piece for 10, 15 years.
Yeah, if the side piece been down longer than the wife, then that's the only time I could lightweight.
What about when you're in a polygamous relationship where you got two wives? Why? Even if one's not a side piece, like I could love five wives.
That's what I'm saying. You can love. That's why I think you can be in love with two people or more at a time, like because you love people for different reasons.
Yeah, I've done it.
I love different things about
different things.
Different
so
men.
I've done it.
I love like
but
three
that's
niggas.
you know, with the side piece thing, a lot of people like to feel like, oh, you know what, you just a side piece. Like, no, actually, that's a very high position. See,
side piece get a bad rap because it's always defined by the other woman.
Right.
No, it's defined by the man because if you didn't, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
A dude is gonna fuck with you how he want to fuck with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if he brings you out and around his family and you his side piece. Now if he brings you out and around family, friends, and fuck with you and can't go home, this shit, you the one. You pretty much got clout over the wife. It's where he at.
Choose to fuck with.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like when people say side piece,
Not most of them don't, which is why women clown them.
That's why I'm making the case because these girls actually exist. Like they do have these special cases where no, she's been with him for 15 fucking years. Right. They just not getting married and they're fine. They got their thing. However that works. This girl maybe wanted to get married or wanted to be a girlfriend or whatever the case may be.
Now, let's be honest about the ones
I could
who
love
get the
two of
bad
those.
rap.
Okay.
You know, the side chicks that get the bad reps are just out here fucking niggas that they know it's not they dude. They know that this man going home to his wife. They know that Now,
the home record is a thing.
That's a legit thing.
The home record is a real thing.
But
I'm saying it's not. It's definitely a real thing.
Yeah, so.
It's definitely. But I didn't even take it that far. I'm just talking about from the man having a certain type of feeling for two women that may be in these positions.
I could definitely love two women. I feel like I can have. You could definitely love two women. Now I don't know if I would have a side piece. Like I think you shouldn't even have one side piece. Like
would
sides
you be in
could
a
better
polyamorous
twos.
relationship? Would you be in a polyamorous relationship?
Hell yeah, I have.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
I'm with that. I just am not into the management right now.
I mean, I
wouldn't
just-
want to manage the situation.
That's ball.
That's
Yeah, but
smarter
it's-
than lying. I mean, you might as well find 2 chicks that's with it.
It's just
Then rather
alternative.
than like running back and forth from house to house lying. Like I don't know. I think as a culture, it's something we should look at a little different.
Is that?
Honestly.
Can I
Yeah,
ask you
yeah.
directly, you?
Me about my life? Now we
No,
talking to me
not
personally. Oh,
not
okay.
about your life. Not about your life. No, not about your life.
Yeah, I wanna run.
I just
I'm
wanna
out.
ask. No, right. No, just your thoughts on something, right? So
Yeah.
you
She
hear,
with it.
I hear a lot of women, especially nowadays, right, where they were more open to, or the idea of, even not for themselves, but for other people with polygamous relationships, right? Mm-hmm. Are you open
You know
to
what?
that?
Honestly, I'm not sure if personally what I'm battling with is. Are you fucking settling? You know what I mean? Is this you like
Right.
damn near 40 and
Right, I feel
are
you.
not in a monogamous relationship
Right.
and now it's a consideration, or is it that you done been with so many niggas that's lying you rather just fucking know? You know what I mean? I'm honestly not sure, but my heart of hearts is like
So
shit.
there's another option.
Niggas is doing it anyway.
There's another option.
Or
What?
The other option is if you are actually into it. Because both reasons would be settling, right? Both reasons are kind of like, okay, I mean, if I don't want a nigga lying, so that's a settle
But
thing.
you don't know if you into it if you haven't done it.
I got it.
You know what
but,
I mean?
but I'm talking about only about what you said. Right, you're right. But I'm saying, like, the other option is like, no, I'm actually in the system. I'm actually into the system of what that is.
right.
And that probably with some study, more women would be into the system of it. Like
Now,
if you studied it.
And if the men could study better too, because let me, and it's gonna sound like jokes, but it's the realest shit. And we kind of was joking about this earlier, which is like, okay, there's a management element to it, right? If you're a dude, you got to have good time management and
Right.
Good communication.
Man, good communication, all that. You're managing 3 dynamic personalities, no matter what you're doing. They're women, and you're dealing with X amount of women.
Right.
And then there's a staffing element to it, right? A human resource element.
Talk
right?
that shit, man. Go ahead.
Because
clear
I'm gonna
roles
tell
and
you,
shit.
Yeah, run your business. Shit.
if you are female, say for example, and I'm not saying against anything about any type of female, but you a small stature woman. Let's say you like a 5'3",
I know somebody 5'3".
125, soaking wet. You always was the little sister, right? Which means you played this complimentary role most of your life. You feel like you're not like, I'm not really like I'm not a take charge person. I'm really like a more submissive personality, whatever, a more complimentary personality. You not really built to be a wife. You're not a female head of household, raiser of people,
You know
hold
what? Now,
her down.
that's- wait.
I can't leave you in charge, nor can I get
That's
sick
the
on
thing,
your wife.
There's a man for her though. Don't say she's
There,
not.
wait, hold on.
she can't
No.
be your
Right,
wife.
right.
Let me finish my thing.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
There's a position for her.
Ah.
And that's where the staffing elements come in. Because when you have a woman who now look, you could probably support the perfect relationship. Where if your man fall in the hallway,
Basically, a good
you're not in
six-man.
charge.
A good
You're a
six-man.
great
Good-
six
great
man.
six-man. Good
You're
role
more
player.
of a caddy.
Good role
Six
player.
man.
You like
Yeah.
yeah. So your because it's a lot of women when I look at
She
them,
was
I'm
like
like,
AC Green of the Lakers. She was like, "How you can be AC? You're not really a starter. You can't really. But when
you
we
can't.
put you in, you
definitely
good. You do your
can't
job.
carry
You
a
get buckets
team.
when
Right, you get buckets when you get in.
You
Right.
can't carry a team.
Right.
But you can get us some buckets when we need them.
That's okay. That's
You feel what I'm saying?
That's
Like
killer.
I meet man when
So we can admit though, right? Now I'm jumping off that, right? That even with, and I'm not talking about people with their negatives, like you may have an abusive man or a wife who's just really out there, whatever that means, right? That, I don't know, I can't compare the two, but I'm saying that, but we do agree. I'm thinking we agree, right? That there are just some people on Earth, whatever, that are not wifey and husband material. Period.
Yes.
Like
You
no
potatoes.
matter who they're with.
Yeah.
you're not a side piece, you're a side order. You was meant to be potatoes, sliced, diced, baked, whatever. It's still not gonna be. It just is what it is.
I agree.
It is what
Right?
it is.
I
You can
agree.
live off of it.
I agree.
Right? You can live off it.
Right.
You could get
You
big
can
off
live
it.
on- Right.
You can't sustain.
Right.
You won't be right. Right? So
right, dog.
if you a woman who worthy of
Can't help
being
me out,
like,
dog.
dang,
dog.
he's sweating.
Can they get
But
a
if
napkin?
if
You're a whole stylist right here. You asked me.
No, she's on the show. She gets on the
Towels in
show.
my
For
bag.
now, I'm not giving out no napkins, B.
Dog, come on.
You don't get no grown man
camera,
napkins?
sweat
Is
like-
there some napkins over there?
That's crazy, yo.
I'll go.
Thank
Damn.
Oh my.
Yo, you-
See, that's why you gotta have.
Like
Like a
guest
woman.
on the camera.
Nigga, you're sweating. I'm sweating for you. Like it's
Like,
hot.
dude, what we doing?
See what type of producer we got? The worst producer
worst.
in the game.
That's
But
crazy.
but to Bad's point, yeah, I always said like a lot of women aren't meant to be girlfriends.
You're
or
not.
fucking,
You a girlfriend.
a lot of girls aren't
You a
meant to be
girlfriend
girlfriends or
by
wives.
design.
And so
That's not your role.
So if that's true, right? And I'm asking, right? If there are people who aren't wife material, then basically there. Well, I guess it goes without saying. There are people who are. There are people who don't have any position. Right?
No,
Thank you.
everybody has a
Appreciate it.
position.
No. What I mean by that, you have a position, but okay, if they don't have wife material, then they got girls who aren't girlfriend material, and there's girls who aren't this kind of material.
I'm
right?
saying everybody
Dudes
good.
ain't all husband material.
Right.
Right, exactly. I'm saying that. Are you not husband material, dog? No, man.
I mean, I could be married.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, but I don't know if I'm husband material. And I think like some dudes are better if they marry a
What does that
girlfriend
mean?
type, right?
I can
so
be
anybody
married,
could,
but I'm not husband material.
like I'm eligible to get
Right.
married. Like I could get married and be a husband, but I don't know if you defining what you want a husband to be, if how I choose
Then
to
listen,
move
listen.
really fall with what
Listen
that
to what you're
is
saying.
traditionally.
This is what you're saying, right? You saying that you could get married, like yeah, I could smoke crack, but I just don't want to do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like look, what I'm saying is, like,
Yeah.
if you're not husband material, then no. Yes, by the rules that you can say yes or I do or ask somebody to marry and then be married. But if you're not husband material, then I'm saying like no, you don't. You one of the ones who don't need to be married then.
Right, but most people don't figure it out till they get married.
I got that. But you figured it out early, it sounds like.
No, I figured it out after I got married.
Right. But I'm saying, but you talking about right now.
I'm divorced.
Got it. You talking about right now. You know you're not husband material.
In hindsight.
Right. But
Yeah.
I'm talking about, we're not speaking backwards, speaking forward.
No, from here on out.
Right. Just you know you're not husband material.
That I know
But
I'm
you've
not
been married
traditional.
before, so
I'm not
you-
traditional husband material.
I got that. What that
Yeah.
whatever that means, but I got that.
Yeah, and I'm definitely king material, which means I could have anything that anybody else could have. But I don't
Let's go.
think if you want to like
But can you flourish in that? What I mean by that is being a king means what? If
under a
you,
really customized situation, I could flourish in anything.
got it.
But under a standard, I'm gonna do bad.
What makes you want to customize some shit though?
Because
like,
I don't take nothing nothing that is presented the way it goes works for me.
no, that's not my question. What makes it so important? Like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck around and do this, but these are the criteria.
Right,
This is
right,
the
right,
guy.
right.
I'm willing to deal with this if you're willing to deal with this.
Why you
like,
gonna fuck
in
around and
what
do this?
case? Yeah, in what case do men? Hi, I got a question.
Okay, there it is. Yeah. Now we get okay. I knew it was gonna come up. Okay, cool.
In what case do men decide that they want to do something that they thought they didn't want to do?
So,
Like,
can I answer first? My answer may be different, whatever. So, the cliche answer would be when men are ready, right? But that's actually true because usually, sometimes it takes a certain situation or men getting older, some maturity kicking in a little later, where they realize what's important to them.
Or you say fuck it.
And now look when I say this, now it's gonna be some stipulations. What I mean, but I explain what I mean, right? So some men feel like, okay, I'm ready. I don't want to be without her, and the only next thing to do is this because that's what she wants to do, and I believe in the idea of whatever that is, marriage and stuff like that. So it's time to do that. I'm tired of playing, right? That doesn't guarantee being faithful.
I'm tired
Right.
of playing. I hate.
Well, I mean, it happens. It's a real thing for people. Some people, right?
That's a real thing.
So sometimes it takes a situation for a guy to be like, "Yep, that's it." And sometimes, now I don't agree with this part, but it happens. And I heard a young lady on one of the podcasts I listened to where she talked about how the problem with love and relationships sometimes is, or traditional relationship, is that when people get together, they feel like that person is their property. And that's what happens when.
Oh, because that's what it is.
That's right. That's right. They
Oh,
feel
if you
like,
marry me, First of all, can I say something about that? Because we've talked about this.
Please.
Okay, let's go to the American language for a second. Because we can't just be making up shit.
Right.
Everything in the fucking American language, that's a thing. When you add an S to it, it either becomes plural or property of. True?
True.
Mr. You were MS before, right? You were MRS after, right? Are there two misters now? Or are you the property of said person you took the last name of? How it was set up originally, not what the perversion is now.
Right.
It's set up for a man could have more dominion over their women.
But and it happens.
Is that we talking about what something white men have set up predominantly,
but
right?
It happens both ways though. If I can say. It happens both ways also.
It does.
The
Women try to control the man as well.
No, I'm just saying about.
Right.
I'm not saying what's right, what's wrong, what's
No,
good. I'm
we're
just
talking
saying
about what people
the
feel.
basic principle of what it is.
Got
If
it.
we just break down what it is.
Got it.
When you said you raised with one last name,
Right.
you enter into a new last name that's his, and you take on a Mister's.
Got it.
Right. There's
Mister's
a lot
wife, not Mister's possession or Mister's ownership.
But I
Depending
think
on the relationship.
I think in the beginning, not what it should be now. I think in the beginning there was a large implication that my wife is my property. I think the people who made up with the concept that
because
just like
they
how
like owning shit.
because white men like
shit.
owning
yeah.
shit, right?
Yeah.
So that's where it starts. If you want to get away from that, then that's some custom shit. I'm with some custom shit, but we know that I'm not under your umbrella.
True.
But if you're going to do that,
I'm going to do that.
But that's what I'm saying. If you're going to do that, it don't matter what you feel about. It don't matter what you feel about that when she feels like you're hers also.
That's cute.
Cute.
I am yours.
Right.
Because we're each one another.
Right. A lot of people have died behind that.
But you don't run. But
Like,
it can only be one head of household.
got that. That's not what I'm asking. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that a woman feels like you're hers also. It's the reason why a lot of people die with that. And I don't mean die in metaphor. I mean like a lot of people that were killed because she felt like you are hers.
Because there's a sickness going on.
Right. It might be, but it is what it is. It might be. Right. So with that.
You pro-marriage, by the way.
Huh?
You pro-marriage. You plan on getting married.
Yeah. But she knows.
No, yeah.
No, I'm saying I'm keeping it 1,000, right?
You want to get married.
I only want to get married because she wants to get married.
You want to get the license? Wait.
No, I don't. No, I don't. That's what I'm saying.
Why?
Because I don't want to do the whole property estate thing and all that shit like that. I don't want to do none of that.
It's still gonna be the same.
You trying
if
to-
you
really?
10
You trying to get
years,
married?
you give California, you go.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna be here. Then that, right? I'm not sure if I'm gonna be here. I got all kind of shit going on in my head with.
But
with that.
what are you afraid to
Because
share
I don't-
with the woman that you about to share the rest of your life with?
Because I don't want to do this under the laws of the United States of America and them telling me that I got to think about signing my kid. If I have a kid, I got to think about signing the birth certificate. I think about that, like knowing that you giving your rights up for that, what that is, and knowing that with the marriage thing that you giving your rights up for that. Like I have a problem with that. Me.
So really, you want to operate on some underground non-citizenship type shit.
And I understand that everybody ain't. Look, I can't help who I fell in love with, right? So I can't get her to be on the same thought process I am as far as what I think about marriage. All I can do is appease her in what her idea of marriage is, right? And
So
I'm
you
fine
get
with
the
that.
paperwork if she wanted it.
I would have to. If I want to make that work, I would have to.
Okay, why would you have to?
Well, because I want to.
No, that's two different things.
I don't care. That's how the world works.
Okay, so you want to do what you have to do.
Yeah, because
He wants the relationship more than he wants.
Yeah, it's one that
to see her
Is
with
it either
somebody
or?
else.
Huh?
You don't think if you just put your foot down, it won't change?
I will see. If that happens, I'll come to that.
He
But
said, I'll see.
I'll see. But
Because they never ask you for the paper. I'm telling you.
I know. Right.
Like nobody lies about being married. Every time you put on any paper,
Right.
they go, okay. If you say you're Mr. and
Until
Mrs.
your ass is in the hospital.
Nope,
and
never.
Yep, they still want to know who's his legal
They
wife.
ask
If
you,
have
and
to
they
make
never
a
say,
decision,
but they never ask you for the paper to show.
Right.
They never say we don't think you're the.
Anybody can say that. Anybody can say that.
unless your side bitch come up and be like, that ain't his wife, that bitch ain't got no paperwork, then
I don't have that type.
I
Yeah, I mean,
had that
we
problem,
we
but yeah,
we
right.
just finished having that conversation.
Right.
So if somebody attested and got a problem with it, because you know it's that type of shit, I'm coming to the funeral because you ain't even his wife for real.
You can have. I think.
Oh my god.
I think people can operate marriage like independent artists and kind of make up your own rules, and what you and your wife agree with, y'all can live on that and be fine with that.
That's what it should be. Because the way that it is right now, I'm gonna tell you. My theory is that it's the ultimate sign of distrust.
The ultimate sign
Wait,
of
what's the-
distrust
what's
is
one?
what marriage.
Getting married.
Why? Explain that, please.
Okay, I'm glad you asked. Okay, so you want to borrow some money from me?
Badger's philosophy.
Here we go.
I love it.
Hashtag.
Lays, he knows.
I love it. Okay.
You want to borrow some money from Lays, right? Lays
I think I heard this before.
trusts you.
Uh-huh.
He gives you the money, right?
Right.
Because he knows when you get it back, you're gonna pay him back. All right, my nigga, you got it. Bam. That's how trust works.
Right.
Yes.
Correct.
Now, Lays doesn't trust you a little. When you gonna pay me back? Oh, swear, promise, put that on everything. Something, dude, I got your word on this. I'm gonna extend my word because I know you don't trust just giving it to me. Promissory vibe, right? Don't trust you even more, right? We got to get this written down, and we got to get this written down, bro. If I'm gonna loan you $500, I need a written thing of when you're gonna give it to me, right? It's your boy. Don't trust you even more, bad. I need you to sign as a witness. This nigga, I'm giving him $500. He's saying on paper he's gonna do it. You are my witness, and we going from there, right? The Lord has seen us. We swear an oath that we pay for this, right?
Right.
Okay, marriage. You love me? Yes. You willing to promise and like get some paperwork on that? I guess. You willing to promise again in front of all your friends and family? Damn, I guess. You willing to promise in front of all your friends and family and then wear a jewelry that says that if you missed it, there was a party where I just did this and all of my friends and family. It's no like, I fuck with you, I trust you, you don't need to wear a ring for people to know that. We don't have to have a party and go. The idea that God don't see everything that we do is just a weird thing that when we decide that we love each other that we have to go again to over his house and tell him. Like, that's a weird thing. So if you got a good thing, why you can't just live that?
But y'all both
Because there's no
just said
security in that.
the woman needs to take your name. You even said by any ain't no way I'm sharing a name. Like, so
we could do a name change.
We're not even gonna do
it.
We're not even gonna get married legally, and I still need to take only your name. Like, why? I could just say that's my name. I could just write it down on a piece of paper. I
You
could just
definitely
pretend
could.
That's
We
my
can- we can
name.
do
But you would have problems with that.
We can do it the both ways though. We can do it both ways.
What's that?
Like both ways don't promise anybody anything.
Right.
Like we know that people sometimes
married and
don't
get divorced.
Get married and get divorced, right? It happens all the fucking time. So whether you took a name under marriage or if we made a promise to each other, it's the same thing. You know, it's funny how promise rings get a bad rap, but your marriage ring is the same thing.
Church.
You know?
I dress like this for a reason. Never could have made it. You goddamn right.
No, but yeah, I mean, you know, so the idea of marriage, I'm just kind of like, I don't know, man. I just got to think about people like what solidifies this more than me and her fucking with each other. Like,
Definitely not the tax status.
Right,
Getting married
right.
is about tax status, and if you don't get with somebody where it's a upgrade to your tax status or something empowered, it ain't no reason to do it.
Here's the thing. Marriage is hard. Marriage is difficult. That shit ain't always fun. And if you don't have something stronger than your word to make you fight it out, then most of the time, more people would probably be. Love is fucking wavering. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you love somebody and the next day you like, fuck her.
so
you know?
if marriage is hard,
Yeah.
what is the difference between being married and not being married?
What is the
Look,
difference?
because I say that because
between
this.
married and not
Well, I
being
say that
married?
because look.
Not being married is hard too.
Listen, all right.
Yeah,
I
but
said,
you could walk away from not being married.
You
like,
can walk
quick.
away from being married.
Not as easy.
No,
you gotta
you
go
can't.
through some hoops. You gotta do some stuff.
It's hard to break up with a person depending on the person.
I'm gonna go through all of this. I'm gonna spend this money. I'm gonna stay away. I'm gonna really do all these things to not be married.
I got that.
But why you
but
wanna
just-
stay
wait,
with
wait,
somebody
real
who
quick.
doing it just
But
to
real quick,
avoid
you're talking about
the
the end. You're talking about the end process. When people say marriage is hard, right? I hear the same thing as me being with my girl for the last 8 years, right? People say marriage is hard. I'm like, yeah, relationships are hard. They trying to separate marriage like it's different from being in a relationship.
Because it is
No,
different.
but look, I understand the
After
process
you
of
get married, please let's have this conversation again.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I had it.
That's what I'm saying.
And you,
I'm saying at the end process, I get. If we're going to break this off, it's way harder going through all the bullshit you got to do to separate. But by that time, it don't matter. Both relationships are over. I'm not talking about the end process. I'm talking about the work that I need to do, that I'm doing
makes
right
you wanna
now to
fight.
keep my shit together, is the same hard as if I fucked up in marriage.
You know what the issue is?
Then
is
you
that
should get married.
It's not so much about
Why?
being.
Then maybe I shouldn't.
because your marriage is gonna last. If you fought for it and you weren't married, then you definitely gonna fight for it and keep coming back
Now,
when
why?
you are married.
Why would I do that? Why would I do that? No, I'm saying I'm not.
It's a different level. It's a whole nother level of love. It's a whole nother level of commitment.
But see, I
Getting
think
married means
that's
just
the
means
game.
something
though.
It depends on the
Nah,
person.
it's not a game.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think that's the game because us being look. I do not think I don't think, and I've never been married. So and you guys have, right? I don't think that like the day of, like it's like the day before marriage we love each other this much, and then you say I do, and then boom, your shit just skyrocket high.
No, it's like buying a car.
It does not.
No, it's like buying a car. It depreciates when you go off the lot.
No.
As soon as you get married, you love her less.
You know what? No.
The woman loves the man more because he's
right.
just giving in to the shit.
See, but
The man loves the woman less because he had to do that to show
you're
what he
saying-
loved her.
So you're saying what I think? I think marriage is hype. It's hype. Like what you saying? I promise to do something, to promise to do what we're already doing in front of people, and then I'm not. First of all, I'm not.
Because every woman wants to be chosen above everything else. That's the whole
You
thing.
were already
That's the
chosen
thing.
before
No,
everything else.
No, you
Listen.
weren't. Because you didn't want to do it in front of the friends because it looked like you were doing it in front of the friends. It's not about.
He
It's,
said,
it's,
well, that was him who said that, but
Okay.
I didn't say that.
I didn't even say that.
Right. What I'm saying is this: is that we have this idea about marriage, right? And for different reasons, we got the promise to do it, and we vow to each other when we already vowed to each other, right? Now we're doing it under God. So religious people, I get why that's different for them, for the religious, right? Which I'm not rolling with, right? So once we do all that, I'm like, nigga, I love you like I did yesterday. Like now we're on a honeymoon, spending all this money and doing all this shit. And I'm like, nigga, I love you the same. I was gonna be with you regardless. I was gonna be with you with or without
But
this.
women feel like it give you a new gear.
I got it. But what I'm saying,
you love me with or without this, and I want this.
I love you
I
more
got it.
without it.
So that's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because that's what
And
you want.
that's it right there.
If you
Just
ask
like it's
the
gonna be
majority
some
of
shit.
Mo- most
Just like
men-
it's gonna be some shit that you want that she don't give a fuck about.
There's nothing.
But
There's nothing she don't. I'm fucking with you. You an arrogant motherfucker? No, I'm fucking with
there's nothing.
right. Not one thing. Right. No, she loves everything. No, but
But it's gonna be some
You
shit
got
she
one.
wants you to do that you don't do. Vice versa.
right. I got that.
But I don't know if it comes so much to
But
down
my
to
shit be like, go to the football game with me. Like, my shit like that. You want marriage? License under God? My shit be like regular.
You
It's
just
like,
said you
hey,
don't even know if you want to stay in
No, I want
California.
pizza tonight. Like, I don't want to do,
You
no,
might
I don't
want to
wanna
move
exercise
to a
today.
third world country, and then here's the thing: she might not. But guess what? You her husband. You the lady. You the fucking leader of the household, and she might just have to pack up and move because you ain't with all this Americanized
Right.
shit.
I'm like, you want Torrance or Taiwan? I mean, make your choice.
right. And guess what? If you got a cool girl, she doing it too. But
Especially because
Man,
you
you know,
committed
can I go to
under
the
God
other
and on
question? We've been on
paperwork.
that one question for a long time.
okay, well let me just say this on the marriage.
But Badru wants to say one last thing.
As
though.
getting out of marriage, because I feel like we went into like marriage or not or whatever. But as having been in that space, I feel like it's really only two kind of thinking in your relationship. You either think 9 to 5 in your relationship, or you think entrepreneurial in your relationship. When I was on thinking 9 to 5 in my relationships, I'm always thinking I could just quit this motherfucker whenever I want to. It don't matter if I was married or not. It don't matter what your position was. You like, yo, I'm me. I'm working for myself at all times, and if I don't want to do this, I'm just not. But then when you take an entrepreneurial stance to your relationship, you start being like, this mine. This ain't going nowhere just because of whatever. I don't give a fuck what you do. I'm not giving this up. And then that's a different way to go into your shit. And it don't have nothing to do with marriage. Because I know when I changed my relationship to be like that, then I'm like, all right, I really borderline don't give a fuck what you be doing. As long as you don't get disrespectful or fuck up none of my lines of what what I think should be or not be. But anyway, so don't 9 to 5 your bitch. No, I'm just kidding. I gotta be more mature. I get that from Lays.
Wait,
So,
what?
I got. What?
Dude, ladies make this shit get you immature.
Dude, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Don't ask a serious question, dude.
So, damn, what? Good. Sometimes it's just life is serious, okay?
God.
Fuck.
That's a bad.
Yeah.
But this girl, she asked it kind of, well, I mean, I guess it wasn't like a question we asked earlier, but it kind of is. But she asked, why isn't one woman enough?
Okay, can I answer that
Please.
one? Why isn't it?
Lord have mercy.
Next question.
Next.
No, first of all, he's not answering for everybody, ladies and gentlemen. I was about Drew.
Okay,
No,
first of all,
we kind
no,
of answered that.
no.
in our whole
I'll
statement.
say why. I'll say why.
No, we said why. No, we said why. What we asked? What was the first question?
Why isn't one woman enough? Because when you single, you like Pringles.
Yeah, because this don't have nothing to be in love with.
You can't do just one.
This ain't about being in love with two women at one time. She's saying like, why isn't one woman enough? Period. Basically, why do men cheat?
No,
like,
that's
like Jay-Z had Beyonce. Like everybody swear, like Beyonce is everything, and even
Right.
Jay-Z cheated. You know what I mean? It's
What?
like why can't you be
And
happy?
the whole
when you got a
time,
woman?
the
Why is
world
two
was
too
like,
many?
Nigga, we've been trying to tell y'all. Like,
why is two
that
too
it's
many?
not about that. It's not.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought that up. That's a testament to women thinking it's something y'all didn't do,
Yeah,
something you aren't
legit.
doing,
and it don't
and
have nothing to do with us.
and it don't. But two things though. First of all, we don't know what the fuck Jay-Z and Beyonce really got going on. I don't know what she don't do. What if you found out she don't suck dick at all? Like that would be a thing. Like right?
You
Or-
said Beyonce don't swallow.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yes, you do. Okay, so now we go. I'm about to tell you, Sasha ain't that fierce if she don't swallow.
Whoa.
Watermelon.
At Good
Worst-
King.
worst at Good King bad _.
But yeah. So why isn't one woman enough? Why do you feel about Drew that one woman is enough?
I feel like why is too many? What do you mean? Why is one woman enough?
Okay, listen.
I feel like
Women said-
I'm answering her question. Then.
Okay, because remember it's to be clear.
Okay,
Like, she hasn't got a clear answer.
my answer is not that women are not is not enough. One woman is not that. It's you. You asked that question because it's you. So you need to get your shit together.
Okay, well, a woman wants a
Women
clear
don't
answer.
think that. I'm just saying, women who
obviously don't hear
are
me,
women
so-
who are enough don't think that.
You
Please.
answered it.
Hold on, baby.
I know that they don't want to hear from me, right? Because they asked the men, but you already answered it that you are enough.
No,
that
you're
it's
not.
the men.
No,
It has nothing to do with the woman. You said like
no, that's
legit.
not a man's
It
answer.
he
That's a
said
woman's
it.
stereotypical.
I didn't say it. He said it. He said it has nothing to do. Women always think it has to do with them.
It does.
And it had nothing to do with Beyonce.
Women
Why
need
Jay-Z
to-
cheated?
Yes,
More
it
like-
did, 'cause
when
he
your
just
man
said-
cheat. That shit ain't because you ain't busting it open
What?
right most of the time. Sometimes you need to get your act right. Listen to the nigga do
Yo.
what he asked you to do. But
So
Let's end the myth that men cheat for no fucking reason.
y'all cheat for fun.
No, we don't all cheat for fun. We cheat a lot of times because we have an idealistic view of what we want from our woman too, and y'all give up on that to validate these attitudes and all this other shit that
So why
y'all
don't
gonna do
you leave?
regardless. Because now we exercising our free agency. You fucked off. We don't have to do nothing. It's all a courtesy. If you want to be treated a certain way, you got to be what I'm looking for. And if you want to not do that over stuff that you could easily do that other women are doing, then
Like what? That's what
Like-
we want to know. What aren't we doing?
man, let me tell you. And the attitudes gotta go. The attitude gotta go.
and attitude's not a race thing either.
The attitude is not a race
I want to
thing.
dispel that myth also.
The attitude is,
It's not a race thing.
but it is. But black women got it locked.
Oh, God, that wasn't me. That
I
wasn't me.
mean, black women got it locked because
Good
we got a
King
whole
Bad
lot on our
underscore.
plate.
I can't be PC
Black
about
women
that.
dealing with a whole lot of shit that white women and other women are not. Thanks.
Like what?
Oh, like
Bl-
niggas
white-
fucking cheating. Like niggas ain't able to not able to provide because of the white supremacy. So women gotta work hard. These white women ain't out here working like us. They ain't out here raising kids by themselves. They ain't out here doing all the shit that we doing. Yeah, boom. Come on, it ain't got. So everybody picking fucked up niggas.
Now you want to speak to that?
Let's
Everybody picking bad dudes, huh?
Let's
Me
go
and all
to
the
a
rest
stat.
of
Since motherfuckers like the stats so
Oh,
much.
stat.
Outside the home, who's the most active father who's outside the home out of all races?
Father outside the home.
Yeah, you
What?
break up with the wife, with the woman, and you taking care of your child. Out of all the races, who is the top most active in those children's
Who
lives?
knows?
No, that's a stat. There's a stat.
Where is it? I
Just
wanna
like there
see
was a
it.
stat
Don't
that
pull
said
it out
men
your
were
ass.
black men was deadbeat dads for a long time.
I think that was a stat. That
Right? Remember there was a
I don't
stat?
think that's true.
Because it's not no more. When I was a kid, I don't know nobody who had a dad, so it was true. I don't know no nigga who don't fuck with his kids now, and They say black men are, out of all races outside of the home, the most active fathers in their kids' lives.
There are also stats that black women are under a lot of stress and pressure. Real shit. I'm not here to.
There's also some stats that from men
black men
are
because
like,
I love y'all.
I love black women.
That's why our attitudes are bad.
No, there's no excuse. There's actually no excuse.
Our attitudes aren't always bad.
If I can go back,
only 90.
If I can go back a second, you know,
of the time.
If I can go back 1 second.
But that was my answer.
Let me be very clear on my
answer
about that. The women and why one woman isn't enough, right? So how I feel about that is I didn't actually say that that it's our fault.
Thank you.
That's not what I
that's
said.
What she said.
That's not what I said. I said that I dispelled that myth of that sometimes it's not true. Yeah. Like, if sometimes women will go hard.
One more time.
Sometimes.
You know what sometimes means? 20%.
Right.
Most times it's you. Women
Sometimes
need to own up to that. Like, women need to own up to, if a man fuck with you, he want to fuck with you. We got every option when we get over. If you're dealing with a dude over 35, let me tell you, 20-year-old bitches is chasing him down, and 50-year-old bitches is chasing him down. He got dumb options over 30. Wiz Khalifa said it best. You do not have to chase these women. They in a race. Because at this point, y'all be trying to be married more than men generally are trying to be married. So if a man is with it, he down, but it takes too much sacrifice to be in this relationship where now you got the one. Think about this. Even not saying nothing negative about women at all. Just think about when you live with somebody, you literally 90% of this person arguments and negative interactions just on natural. They probably not just out in the world arguing with strangers. Right? Mm-hmm. They probably already worked out how to get along with their boys and their friends. Mm-hmm. And the only place you got accountability where somebody feel like they could check you about things that you do as an adult, whether it's being somewhere on time or coming late or when your phone ringing or
it's a
who
job
you
or
talking
at
to,
home.
is your relationship, right? Mm-hmm. So we don't need that. We don't need that. Men, we don't need that type of extra drama in our life. Now, some kind of do be late and you kind of do.
All I'm saying is,
but there is no stay out too late.
To deliver it, but I mean, it's valid. Maybe it's a way to deliver it. Like maybe some women need to mature in their delivery and what they say, but don't like make like what they're saying is not a valid thing.
It's not, because
you need to be held accountable.
But it's
for
not.
Some shit.
But where did that come in? Because guess what? First we had parents. We grew out of those type of rules. You know, when you got at your mama's house, you like, no, there is no curfews. Mm-hmm. There is no. I get home based on how another person is going to react. That you
remember the customization. This goes back to the customization you talked about.
But I'm
you
saying,
customize your relationship, right? And what you and your woman set up as the rules of the household are it. Now, if you man enough to be like, baby, I don't come home with the fuck I want to, and she like, you know what, you right, baby. Whenever you come, this motherfucker is all good. Then your woman can't say shit. But my problem is, don't act like. When you set the tone in the beginning, and then you want to get out here and wild out, then a woman can't say anything. Don't expect a woman just to shut the fuck up and be quiet all the time. There are times to do so.
Not all the time, but there are. I don't even want to get to pitching songs with black women. This whole thing. I'm just saying, like, there's becomes this new level of accountability and conversation and narrative where it's like check-ins and.
Do you speak up when your woman is wrong? Because you was like, oh. Don't be wrong.
My woman don't be wrong.
Basically, it ain't no space for my woman don't be wrong.
If you're listening.
You ain't never wrong, baby.
Next question.
It ain't no space in the woman up.
Next question.
Yeah, so to sum that up, I want to say that I want to go on record to say I never said that it's our fault. That never said that because we all know that you guys be wrong too, and I know that is the reason why men. You know what?
Okay.
I said this, so this was and I had to write this down because I don't know if I was gonna remember it.
You had a written answer this whole time?
No, I said no. That's for something else, but I was gonna say that. Men have this thing where we have these fantasies and then we act on these fantasies. you know, and not all the time, but a lot of times we have these fantasies. And the hard part that a lot of women, it won't be able to register because you guys look at it like, okay, fantasy or not, we wasn't supposed to step out, right? And I understand that by the rules and guidelines of y'all relationship, he wasn't supposed to step out. But and I'm not using that as an excuse, but he's going to handle his fantasy about whatever it is. And a lot of times you guys can't cover it. And
I did not say that.
No,
I'm not part of that. That's bad luck at bad luck 354.
No, listen. I'm saying I'm talking from a place where if you're got sometimes men and women have things. Now it's about to get deeper into some other shit, right? Sometimes men and women have things they want to do inside that they necessarily don't want to share with the person they're with.
Oh,
because
yeah,
it might be different. It might be different.
See, but you shouldn't be in a relationship where you're doing that.
That's what I'm saying. But sexually,
that's that Atlanta shit.
Like, damn, nigga, what? There's so many things you can do. Atlanta is the one thing you went to. It's like millions of positions and shit. Like,
but why would you not want to be on that level with your woman though?
Listen, because sometimes your woman has nothing to do with it. Look, it's just
that's
like,
that Atlanta shit.
Let me give you a very low.
Damn, I definitely.
No, listen, what I'm saying. This is the difference, right? Let me give you a very low level of how light fantasies work, right?
Oh shit.
You and I are married
Fetish.
or whatever. We're walking down the street, whatever, and I see a girl across the street that looks nothing like you, right? And I'm looking at her sexually. I don't give a fuck. We talk about it at home. You can't be her.
You talking to a stylist? She like, nigga, give me 24 hours.
20 minutes.
Right. Like, she hit the blonde wig.
You want an Iranian BBW? I can do this.
5 minutes, be right back.
Right. No, but what I'm saying is that, and then when you talk about sexual shit, now this is where the conversations are needed, but sometimes they aren't had because of sometimes pride issues. Sometimes your nigga or sometimes your lady be into shit they don't want to share with you necessarily. Because some of these things, it happens though, right? Like for instance, some girl, I heard this a lot where a lot of women, not all obviously, a lot of women have like train fantasies, right? They want to fuck a gang of niggas at one time. Listen,
y'all gonna look at me.
Not y'all. I'm talking to. They look at you now. Look like a group thing. No, she asked.
You have that fantasy?
No. She asked me a question. I'm answering the question. They both look. Now look like a group thing on camera. That we all. No, that's not what happened. So what I'm saying is, well, some women have this fantasy.
Trains are a group thing,
right? No, right. Look,
I was late.
But some women have where they have these fantasies where they want to have sex with 2 dudes at one time or more, and that's a fantasy of theirs. That ain't nothing you can necessarily share with your nigga.
Right.
Some things you got to go to the grave with. Or,
I've heard that.
No, you probably have heard it, but your girl probably don't tell you that shit.
No, my girl I was with before told me that.
Got it. That's a rare thing.
She had me believing like I was like, oh, I don't know, but women like that for real. All women.
A lot of women do.
I think like you should end up with a person that can fuck with your deepest darkness.
No, but no, that sounds good.
See, everything else in that
paper.
It's hard for it to actually happen.
Right, that sounds good on paper because you fall in love with who you fall in love with.
You don't.
Yes, no,
but you
do.
Fuck with who you want.
Now look, that's when okay, if I say that, that's what the guys be making their, depending on who you look at, biggest mistakes because they fuck with who they want to fuck with.
Yeah, you can love somebody. Like I think you can love more than one woman, and then there's a choice that one of the women is more freak than the other one. Yeah. I choose the one I love who's more.
Sometimes it ain't about that.
But
sometimes it's not about just sexual. It's not about sexual shit. Sometimes, like, what if you got the girl who you might be with a girl who's cool, whatever, y'all get on whatever. But when y'all get into it, you have this one girl who talks to you perfectly. Like she deals with you in a perfect kind of way when this girl is tripping. For whatever the reason may be, like some guys need, and I'm not excusing it. I'm saying to y'all, I know it's fucked up, but I'm giving you the real. Sometimes niggas go to other women. You know how women got the joke on? Every girl got 5 guys that got 5 different things that they. You know what I mean? They fuck with. One nigga got good dick. One nigga got money. One nigga's a listener. One nigga's probably gay, where he just needs somebody to talk to like a homegirl, but he a man. Like, and then it's like whatever the other nigga is, right? But what niggas do is actually go get that, like. You got the one girl who suck dick crazy, pussy okay, she don't really be tripping, but all she does do is suck my dick. Of course,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like,
But
they
see,
go fuck with her. Then you got the one girl who, she just cook bomb ass shit and funny. I love kicking her like a homegirl, but I can fuck too. You got that happens. And then, so, sometimes you can't find them all in one girl, so a nigga will go do it. The difference is, though, which I understand women can't hang a lot of times, is because to the niggas, it means nothing past what it was at that moment.
Right.
It means absolutely nothing.
But
niggas almost feel like we wish you guys can actually feel what's inside of us when we tell you that shit. So y'all will be like, no, he really there. He really don't give a fuck. He really don't give a fuck about that.
It's like eating a burger.
You need a mic. That's
But you know it's
funny
crazy
analogy,
because I always agree with that. Like I always agree with like, well, you know, you kind of sometimes gotta make the best mix that you can. But I feel like that's when you in my polygamous vibe would be like that. Like, oh, I kind of make together a community of what I want. Right. But it's crazy because when I hear you talk about it, I'm like, man, when I'm in relationships with somebody I really, really fuck with,
yeah.
Like when you meet a chick where you like, no, I really fuck with you,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
The shit that you like, or it becomes just like kind of preferences that you either had or you didn't. Like, right. I could say I have like a gang of standards. If you ask me, right? I want my girl to be able to cook. I want my girl to be able to throw down like this, do this like this, fuck like this, be cool like this. Because my vibe thing is like I don't argue, I don't do none of that shit or whatever, right? And then you fuck with somebody and you like, it's just like your drunk uncle that turned out the party. He never not your uncle. It's just like, God damn, man, every year your ass come out here drunk, dancing, moonwalking, whopping, and all in there. I can't do this never without you doing that. You know what I mean? And it get to a point where you be like I experience and be like, oh yeah, like, yeah, my girl don't cook. Your girl don't cook? Nah. Is she cool? She ain't that cool. Like, you know, I'd be like, nah, she ain't cool like that. Oh, well, she just like, nah, that motherfucker ain't none of that fly shit I be trying to tell y'all. Like, because when you just choose who you really want to fuck with, a whole nother thing open up to where you like, oh, nah, like, I can love a person who I kind of think suck a little bit. Like, dude, you suck. I got the whack one.
Right, I can't.
But that's really my. But that's my bitch. Right. I'm not about to trade you. You feel what I'm saying? Whatever.
I think what happens with dudes is too. Back to the kind of like if I'm jumping back to the other question. I said
that to say, but if you're not, women need to own up to where when you're not enough, you really just not. Sometimes you're not enough. You got to work on yourself.
Sometimes you're enough. But the thing about being not
most
enough
times
is,
you're not.
But if I got to play devil's advocate with AKA women, not calling you devil's advocate, but if I got to play the argument on that side,
Devils,
right? No, if I say play the argument on that side, right? The fucked up part is that when you say women are enough, what the fucked up part is that if you chose her to be with her, you guys chose to be with each other, then you either work it out or leave. That's what they be asking us.
Right. At least like a couple things besides work it out.
Because we got our own life.
Communicate the shit.
I'm saying if you can't work it
properly.
just don't go stick your dick and shit and fuck it then. But
it depends on why it's not working out.
We want to, but what happens with that is we actually don't want to not be with y'all. We just want to be able to. If I can do this, then I'll be cool over here too.
Like,
or when you got an attitude,
I hate to get crass, but like if the head ain't wet enough, say that so she have an opportunity to make it juicier before you can run out to the next bitch trying to find the best.
But I don't think nobody leaving their girl over that.
Let me dispel this rumor.
You're not leaving, but you going to get it somewhere else.
I definitely think somebody will leave their girl over that. But let me dispel. Let me dispel this rumor too that sometimes people ain't got it. It's almost like dancing. Like sometimes a chick ain't got no rhythm, she ain't got no motherfucking rhythm. She never gonna learn how to do the latest dance. She just can't fucking dance, right? So with whether it's head or sex, sometimes the pussy is just gonna be what it is. Just like niggas, sometimes you may love this nigga, his dick probably whack, it probably not gonna get better. That's probably how he just fucks. It's a terrible thing.
But I can't fuck with you though.
But if you a dude, most vagina is training day.
Right, you get up. But listen, okay.
I need good dick.
But look, he don't have good dick, but he got everything else for you.
Yeah,
so
I'm a cheat. Here's the thing. Dead ass. If you got
So I ask
everything
you,
else,
why aren't we enough?
because if your dick is trash.
Why are we? See, that's the thing. See, that's why you gotta handle shit the way you do it. Because women,
you missing the part the main part.
No, the main part is that there's no requirement. Women got it good, bro. Let me. First of all, every dude knows when you get with a woman, you got to train her in bed. 90% of the time.
Hopefully she get right with it.
Boom. So there's a training we gotta expect. When we show up like this. If this nigga don't know what he doing, he out of here. Right? There's that. Then there's like you meeting and you dating and you paying for. Oh, he don't pay for you got to pay for dinner and movies or whatever, right? Like, nah, I know how relationships end. The dude ends up paying for everything. Like if you end up paying for everything, you got a no good nigga. If I pay for everything, I got my woman. You still bomb, and I'm now a good dude. Right. You feel what I'm saying? Sure. So we heading towards something that's upside down, not in our favor from the beginning. We're going to be emptying the trash. We're going to be getting up when shit crack and break, and every sense of emergency and death is involved. We're going to be there. So the exchange is we're going to get exactly what we want out of the situation. And if sometimes what you bring to the table is not enough. That's only women who ask that question. You're not enough. That's why you asked. That's my answer. Because women who know what they bring to the table do not ask that question.
And I think it's important to know. I think it's important for men to know when they're not enough.
Boom.
Also, I'm not jumping sides. I'm saying like we
don't have that. We just single. Whether we should be single. We enough. We should just be single.
Sometimes y'all ain't enough. Y'all can't hold that shit down.
We not asking for it. All right. I heard that.
Hey, can I bring one more question before we go out?
Please.
This question's gonna be very short in the conversation, but I'm asking since I was asked. But it's gonna be very short. But what I wanted now, this is a disclaimer.
When them dresses go on sale at Vanity
Showroom,
Showroom,
this ain't like nothing you expect.
No sales. Bring a whole check.
This question is not nothing you expected, so it's gonna be a very short conversation.
Oh, shit.
But
no.
Right.
Yeah, my answer is no.
Yeah, right. It's definitely no. But I at least want maybe Pooh can what she thinks about this in men and this.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You say women are afraid to ask men if they ever had any sexual thoughts or experiences with men. So look, understand I gotta know. No comfortable, right?
I wish it was somebody who could really for real answer that for real. Cause that's some real life shit. Niggas be lying.
Niggas be lying, right? So that's why, for the respect of the question, I do want to talk about it, but it don't have to deal with you. Obviously, it's a no. I got
no, I'm sure Rob's has some thoughts like that.
Nigga just left the room. What the fuck?
I mean, and I've asked the guy several times, like, dude, like, asked sober. Like,
it was something about the guy that
it was something about him. He was feminine to me, but he was coming on strong, and I was like,
right.
"Have you ever dated guys?" And he was like, "Oh my god, like no."
You know
what
that?
I mean?
But if you said,
a little bit though, a little bit he did though. It was a little like that, and then I waited till we got drunk, and I asked again, like, "So what about
if a guy told you
and you was interested in it?"
I wasn't interested in him.
Do you watch Insecure?
I do. Yes.
You seen both seasons?
Yes.
Okay, so okay. Remember I forgot her name, was with the guy, she liked him, cool. She found out he did some shit with a man before. Remember
my memory bad. So but I kind of love.
So let me just be raw with it. She found out that he sucked the dick before.
Right.
So he tried it, he did it, and then remember he didn't do it again, whatever. So if you found out a man you messed with had a sexual experience with a man before, and he told you he
gay. The nigga
that's forever. He's
gay.
Okay.
He not. I don't even. He gay. I don't even believe in bisexual. There's no such thing. You gay. You know what I mean? Or girl. You know.
Right. Get it.
Whatever. You gay. It's cool. Like do that. You know. But don't fuck with him.
What if it's true? What if he really had a sexual experience years ago, and that's the one sexual experience he had? Like what?
That turned him gay.
He gay.
Automatically.
Yeah,
so even if he don't fuck with, even if he did some shit when he was a kid, and then or younger, or whatever.
Did some shit with as a kid.
No, I mean I don't know what a kid is.
Adult enough. I'm talking about you know, old enough.
He frat party sucked a dick.
Yeah, you was in college, you was in high school, and you were lightweight interested.
Okay, let me ask you.
You was grown at 16, 15, 16. So if you decided then
is
you wanted
that a deal breaker for you if you already with the nigga?
That's an absolute.
If you with the nigga,
that's a deal breaker. This goes right. in line with the cheating and all that. Like, give me the opportunity to do what the fuck I want to do for my life. You know what I mean? It's no judgment. We can still be friends. We can be cool. But I don't want to be with a man that is interested in men or has been with niggas. Right? You like your booty tickled by a man? Like, eek.
What if he told you that? Who tells this person? Who tells that?
Like,
that's the thing. No, people
when I was
don't tell
20,
it.
like what?
They don't tell it, but I think they should.
Welcome to Atlanta.
I think
LA.
I think the question kind of answers itself. I think she knows. Like she said, women. Oh no, she said women. I don't think women are afraid to ask.
I don't think
nowadays. I think they do ask. I think
you should
if
ask.
they got some kind of signs that a nigga did something crazy, like one of my homegirls. I ain't talked to her in a while, but one of my homegirls said that she was fucking a nigga because it's the nigga that lived by her. She was fucking a nigga and said the nigga told her to grab his ass while he's fucking her.
Well,
she was just like.
I don't know that necessarily mean he gay.
That's what I'm saying. But
let's go into her experience.
No, I didn't have.
So when you asked him, what did you?
I didn't know. I didn't have this experience, but I'm saying like if you. That's why I said about the deep
with
dark
the woman.
secrets.
You talking about with the woman?
Yeah, if you was in a situation with a female and she tickled your booty hole and you liked it,
right.
you know what I mean?
It's still a woman,
and you only did it with females. Then I don't really think that ain't gay. You ain't looking for a man.
If that's his thing.
With
women though, with women only, but that's his thing.
Well, how far does that go? Like if she
a dildo is like
say if like I let a like he let a woman fist him or something.
Yeah, then you really like then no, I can't do it.
You know, it's a lot of ways to end the show. I don't know why our shows all end on these weird notes. I feel like leaving.
So that's the end of the show?
Yeah, man, that sounds like the end of the whole show.
I want to thank, first of all, I want to thank our guest today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pooh, for coming through and laying your inside down.
Man, that was
and speaking up for all women around the world. And we appreciate you coming by. You know, we are a friend of the show, and you're welcome to come by anytime.
Thanks for having me. That was fun.
Definitely, the Bellinis were nice.
Yeah.
They were nice.
Even though we had them in 5 styrofoam cups, we didn't have glasses. Like
next
we
time
went
I'll
classy.
bring glasses.
We kept it hood.
We was like, we kept it hood a little bit, you know. You want to? Anybody want to add anything?
I don't.
Make sure you follow Vanity by Kenya K on Instagram.
We'll put it in the
Boom.
description.
Professional.
Bad. Make sure she run you that check.
That's
already did today.
That's harder to do than you think. Next week, doing business with friends.
Oh, I was supposed to talk about that.
We'll bring her back. When you turn into the credit agency.
Oh my God.
Wait.
Can I pay you half right now and half next Monday?
I'd love to pay that budget. Now, do I got to pay it on? Can I pay it when I want?
You definitely
Next
worth
week on the
that.
OverRated Truth podcast. Yeah, man. No, I'm cool. I'm chilling.
You got to let them know the show, the tags and all that stuff, right? Or no?
I think I already did that, didn't I?
It's the end of the show.
But
We bringing porn stars for you soon, Lays. Lays need a porn star guest every once in a while.
Okay.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yep.
She ain't sucking dick, is whatever. But anyway,
But you got to suck dick here?
Whoa.
My life has changed. You know I can't be around that. Okay.
You can't even be around it. Your life has changed.
Yeah, my life has changed. I can't be around that. You know it?
anyway,
Matter of fact, my life has changed. I don't want to be around that. Okay. Let me say that.
Just to clear everything.
You know who one of our subscribers is?
Yeah, right. That was definitely a drum roll. Hold on.
Hey.
Anyway, OverRated Truth Pod at gmail.com, OverRated Truth at Instagram, OverRated TRU Pod on Twitter, Instagram, Twitter, OverRated Truth Podcast on the Facebook app. We got a Facebook page that we'll get more active on. Yeah, man.
Good King Bad _ if you don't follow nothing else. Huh?
We give an Instagram thing on that? Okay. That's
I gave mine because I felt like I never gave mine. You got like 1 million followers. You don't got to do that.
I do not have many followers.
He is at 50K.
You don't got to solicit followers. You see what we got to do?
And you know the saying, there's 3 sides to a story, all of them true. That's the OverRated Truth Podcast. Thank you. See you next week.
Peace.